you've been waiting for is here.
What's up, Skeeters Nation? Welcome back. We got a second half baseball here for you at beautiful Constellation Field, and your Skeeters, first half Freedom Division champions. How about that? We begin the second half already having locked in a playoff spot, and the other team in the league who's locked in that playoff spot, coincidentally, in down for a 6-game series. That's those Long Island Ducks. Seems to be that the Ducks and the Skeeters always find themselves somewhere in the playoffs, and sure, we'll probably see each other in the playoffs at some point this year. The Skeeters have beaten the Ducks both times in the championship series in their franchise history, so we shall see. A lot of changes, and what else would you expect from the Skeeters roster? It's been a season of changes and a season of turnover from this roster all season long, and some new changes to tell you about, and I'll get right to them. The first of which will go on a positive note. Skeeters have signed former Major Leaguer Rico Noel, who played with the Lancaster Barnstormers last year, and he had himself a year with the Barnstormers last year. Stole 53 bases, hit 305, a 359 on base percentage, and had a cup of coffee in the Mexican League this year. Numbers were not up to snuff to what he's usually put up in his career, but as a career, Noel has been a very valuable piece in the infield, outfield. He's lightning fast. He's starting and batting leadoff, playing second base tonight for the Skeeters, who, if you can see right now, they're donning the ugly Christmas sweater jersey. It's Christmas in July tonight. We got a Swatson A Christmas Story movie themed giveaway. He's licking the frozen pole, Double Dog Daria, courtesy of Assured Flow Solutions, and then also our special edition jerseys. They're being auctioned off as we speak right behind me here in the press box. So if you are listening and you're in the ballpark around the area, get out here. Those are some pretty sweet uniforms that the Skeeters are wearing tonight as part of our Christmas in July and a prelude to our Sugarland Holiday Lights, which was a monster hit last year. Over 150,000 people, over 50,000 people. I got a little excited. We had over 50,000 people, though, so very, very impressive number come through the gates for Holiday Lights last year. And let me tell you, folks, I got some insider info. It's going to be even bigger this year. So if you came last year, tell your friends, bring them all out this year. But back to baseball. We'll stick with the good news before we give the, I guess, lukewarm / bad news. Kevin Comer, right-hander, a pretty big part of the Skeeters bullpen earlier parts of this season. He is back off the disabled list, active tonight. Released from the team, Christian Bergman, the right-hander who has left the team. He's taken a job coaching with a major league team. Won't disclose that information, but not really your typical release, but he has left the team to take a coaching job. So congrats to Christian Bergman, longtime major leaguer, 5-year big league career. Had 5 starts for the Skeeters in his time here. He actually was with the Skeeters in spring training, had his contract purchased, and then came back in mid-June. Also, Matt Ramsey was here for a cup of coffee, had his contract purchased by the Tijuana Toros of the Mexican League, so he joins Michael Marriott as the second player on the Skeeters roster to head to the Tijuana Toros, and he'll join James Russell, former Skeeter out there, just south of San Diego out there in Tijuana. And that's the roster moves for today, so stand pat, though. I'm sure we'll have a new bunch of roster moves to give you tomorrow. Speaking of changes, there are some more rule changes to relay to you kind folk listening here on YouTube and Mixlr. The first of which is kind of a jarring one. It's the fact that runners now have the ability to essentially steal first base, and that's the layman's term, but in a more focused term, the drop third strike rule has now extended to the entire at-bat, so if a ball's not caught in flight by the catcher, the batter has a chance to advance to first base. Interesting, very interesting wrinkle to the game as part of our working partnership with Major League Baseball. A few other rules. If you were now with a batter who bunts and fouls a strike off with 2 strikes, still gets another strike to play with. So if you were 0-2 and you bunted it away, normally you'd be out, but now you would get a chance to have one more foul ball on the bunt, or you just resume your at-bat regularly. So kind of another confusing wrinkle to the game. And Chris Parsons has got a mouthful of ham sandwich from Jason's Deli. Jason's Deli, shout out for food today, by the way.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
You bunt it on that second strike, and it's a foul. Say you go up there and foul like 3 more off, and you decide to bunt again. Do you get to redo it all over?
I would think no. I don't believe so. I can't say that with absolute certainty, but I believe it just extends to 1 foul bunt per at bat. So if
Just
you're
a question I had.
no, I mean it's a worthwhile question to.
Somebody's going to try to finagle their way in, and
No, it's worthwhile to ask. I mean that's something certainly to consider, and we'll see how it works out. I mean the third rule is check swings are now more batter friendly, and it's pretty ambiguous. That's just the way it's stated. The idea here, folks, and we'll have our president Chris Hill, who was in the All-Star in York for the All-Star game, and kind of our boots on the ground, if you will, for all these rule changes. The idea really is to kind of get away from the 3 true outcomes that have been taking over Major League Baseball. Those outcomes being a walk, a strikeout, or a home run. So they want more balls in play. They want more action on the base paths. So that's these latest 4 rule changes are essentially all directed toward creating more action on the base paths. And we'll get more into that. Skeeters taking the field. We'll take a quick commercial break back here in just a moment. Game number 1 of the second half, Skeeters, Long Island Ducks getting ready for a 6-game series. Joe Lionheart going to be on the mound making his first ever pro start. So hang with us here. We'll be back here in just a moment.
Don't miss out on daily promotions this season at Constellation Field. Come to the park on Monday for discounted margarita prices as well as free tickets for fans who present military and first responder IDs. Visit us on Wednesday and enjoy $1 hot dogs as well as discounts of White Claw hard seltzer. Come thirsty on Thursday for $2 beers and sodas. And you definitely won't want to miss out on Fireworks Fridays. Close the week out on Sunday Fun Day where we'll have pregame autographs and kids run the bases. Sugarland Skeeters. It's more than baseball.
The Skeeter Buddies Kids Club create countless memories that will last a lifetime for kids ages 4 through 12. With 2 packages that are assured to meet your budget, the Skeeter Buddies Kids Club, sponsored by Meadow and Sugar Mill Montessori Schools, offer exclusive moments, such as batting and pitching lessons with players and front-of-the-line privileges or kids run the bases on Sunday Fun Day. For more information, visit SugarlandSkeeters.com. Sugarland Skeeters, more than baseball.
Plan your next group outing at beautiful Constellation Field. Looking to celebrate a birthday, host a large-scale event like a company party, or just looking to bring a large group to watch a baseball game? Constellation Field has you covered. We have several birthday packages as well as seating options that include our party suites and picnic plaza, as well as the field plaza to best accompany your group. Visit SugarlandSkeeters.com or call us at 281-240-HITS for more info on all of our group packages.
Memorial Hermann Sugarland Hospital has been named a recipient of the highly coveted 2016 Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award, the nation's highest presidential honor for performance excellence. Memorial Hermann Sugarland was recognized for its outstanding commitment to sustainable excellence through innovation, improvement, and visionary leadership. Memorial Hermann Sugarland is the first Houston area healthcare organization to earn the prestigious Baldrige Award and only the 3rd in Texas. The Sugarland Skeeters are proud to partner with Memorial Hermann Sugarland.
Hello, Houston. Tomorrow's here. Time for an energy go.
It's time for some second half baseball. Here we go, folks. Ducks and Skeeters, game 1 of a 6-game series. Let's get you that starting lineup here for the visiting Long Island Ducks. Batting leadoff, Ezekiel Carrera playing left field. TJ Rivera batting second, playing third base. Ray Fuentes hitting third and playing center field. LJ Mazzilli hitting cleanup and batting second. Dave Benson Ramiro hitting fifth and playing first base. David Washington, longtime slugger in the Atlantic League, batting sixth, playing right field. Daniel Fields, the DH, will hit seventh. Ramon Cabrera behind the plate hitting eighth and batting ninth. Vladimir Frias and Seth Simmons going to get the start for Long Island. And for your Skeeters from left to right in the outfield, Jason Martinson in left, Anthony Jansanti in center, and Zach Bornstein out in right. Across the infield, Juan Silverio at the hot corner at third base. Ryan Jackson at shortstop. Rico Noel making the Skeeters debut over at second base. First baseman tonight going to be Blair Beck, moving out from the outfield. And behind the plate, Albert Cordero on the mound, making his first professional start and he's coming here with the Skeeters. That's the righty Joe Lionheart. And Lionheart, who has been exclusively out of the bullpen, was set to join the Skeeters rotation here in the second half, and due to some travel difficulties, Dallas Beeler was the original scheduled starter tonight, and Joe Lionheart, the former Oklahoma State Cowboy, as early as this year, making his first pro start. So we'll see how this goes for Joe Lionheart. Comes in at no record, a 7 ERA. His pro debut came on June 18th at York. Not a great debut, allowed 3 runs in 2 innings of work, and he's had a few good outings, sparkled with a few rough outings, which explains the 7 ERA, but a guy that had some good success in the Big 12, pitching for Oklahoma State. And now out here in Sugar Land, Texas, as Ezekiel Carrera, the former Toronto Blue Jay, steps in. The first pitch of the second half. Ball outside from Lionheart there. And I'm sure a lot of you listening have followed the news that the automated strike zone made its debut in the Atlantic League at the All-Star game, as Carrera fouls that back to make it 1-1. Caught a lot of national attention. Even the Skeeters were mentioned on ESPN quite a bit over the last few days. And the Atlantic League was mentioned all over the place. Articles in the Washington Post, the New York Times, LA Times. I mean, you name a publication. And the Skeeters rented that one outside for a ball. 2-1 now to Carrera. Tight zone here to begin things. And it seemed to be mostly positive reviews about the automated strike zone, the automated ball strike system from TrackMan. And 3-1 now as that one misses away to Carrera. So the Ducks and the Skeeters both have already secured playoff spots for the second half of the season. Carrera lines out to center field. Jansanti shades the sun, takes a few steps back, has it there for out number 1. But to go back to the automated ball strike system, really positive reviews across the board. And that was the first pro baseball game that used exclusively an automated ball strike system. I read that there were portions of the game that the system, the connection to the system kind of wore out for a little bit. So there were portions of the game where the umpire behind the home plate was calling balls and strikes per usual. For the most part, the entire game, all electronic balls and strikes, and really went off without a hitch. A great debut for what could be the future of baseball and what is trending toward be the future of baseball. Strike 1 to TJ Rivera, former New York Met. He's continuing his pro career now in the state of New York with the Long Island Ducks. Fouls that one back. Quickly 0-2. And between the automated ball strike system, the first pro baseball game to be called using that, the Atlantic League All-Star game, and then the rule changes, a lot of national coverage for the Atlantic League over the All-Star break. Certainly did not go to sleep with the break off of games. It is probably the most media coverage the league had gotten as a whole since the beginning of the season, when they announced the rule changes for the first half of the year that are still in play, such as the no shifting rule, the no mound visits, and so on and so forth. Rivera lofts that in the shallow center field. On the run is Jansanti. That one's going to drop in front of him for a base hit. The Ducks with their first hit of the evening here, a single from TJ Rivera. So both these teams kind of get a luxury here, having already clinched a playoff spot. You can kind of tinker around with your roster and really set it up for the playoffs. And I think that's something the Skeeters will take advantage of, although I know Pete and Gavilia, about as competitive as they come, I don't think he's going to take too many experimental items here to the field. He's going to play it like he's trying to win the second half as well, and that's just the style he manages with. But certainly, you have a chance to maybe get guys like Joe Lionheart some extended work and see what he's got to work with, and maybe you find a gem here, a guy that wasn't drafted but at an OK State, making his first pro start. We'll see what he's got. So the runner on first here, one down. 1-0 to Fuentes is low and in, and joining me now to help kind of break down some of these rule changes I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, our president, Christopher Hill. Chris, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. We got rule changes.
We got plenty of them. I was touched on them. Yeah. Christopher was in York for the All-Star game, so he has an inside perspective on exactly why these rules were implemented and what they're supposed to be doing here for the league and I guess for the game of baseball as a whole. And Chris, just kind of let you take the floor. What do you got for us?
Well, I think one of the things that when everyone hears these rule changes, the first instinct is, oh my God, this is terrible. They're ruining the game. And so there's a lot of that reaction. And what I ask everyone to do is the same thing. The approach Major League Baseball is taking is like the first half of the season. There's a foul ball. The first half of the season, there were 23% of the plays in Major League Baseball with strikeouts. And they view that as not helpful for the game. Basically what's happening is pitchers are getting far superior to batting. Spin rate, drop rates, all these different things are escalating to the point where it's becoming very difficult. The batter is in an impediment, or is having problems being able to put more balls in play. Shifts, all these different things are making it more difficult. So what they're trying to do is make the game, put more balls in play, and have the game be more exciting. The game is different than it was 100 years ago, and the rules have almost stayed the same as 100 years ago, and so they're looking to change that. So, I think some of these are overblown. I think the step off the mound is the exact same thing right-handed hitters had to do, so why don't you have it left-handers? There he goes.
On the move was Mazzilli, but
if that was a hit and run, that was a late swing for a hit and run, almost hitting our catcher.
He almost decapitated the guy on deck there. But yeah, I mean, Chris, you're mentioning about how the pickoff rule really, I mean, righties have to abide by that anyways. Now it's kind of like lefties are having to join the crew.
Yeah, so I mean, I think you're going to see more balks. When you have a left-handed pitcher, you're going to see some more balks early until people get used to it. But I think that rule is not a big deal. The expanded check swing, I think, is not really that big of a deal either. Simply because who likes seeing the guy? The difference between a check swing strike and a check swing ball is so minimal, and it also makes it easier for the umpire. It has to be almost a definitive swing for them to call it a strike. So I think those two rules by itself, no big deal. Then you get to a little bit more of the more interesting ones. Everyone likes to talk about the stealing first. I personally don't like that one, but I also don't think you're going to see it a whole lot.
I tend to agree with you, at least as Fuentes lines that to Jan Santee right at him, though, as it for out number 2 here at the top of the first. I don't think you're going to see it for a while because a guy's natural reaction as a baseball player is not to leave on a pat. I mean, and I feel like muscle memory is going to take over where most players will not take advantage of that, at least through the first maybe month or so of the second half here.
Yeah, I mean, and even when you look at people that strike out on a third strike and the ball gets behind them and they take off, very rarely is that ever successful. So as a strategy, I don't know, maybe smarter people than me can figure out how to use it effectively, but I just don't see it happening very much.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. I mean, tonight obviously that's in play. So if a ball's in the dirt, I think that I'd like to actually wonder how much that's on the mind of Albert Cordero tonight behind the plate. I wonder if he's thinking about, do I need to, I wonder if it puts a little extra pressure on him or if he's even thinking about it.
Well, and a lot of times you see it all the time with catchers that if there's no runner on base, they'll just let it slide to the backstop. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, I mean, that I think that's the muscle memory too, where you can take advantage of it as Mazzilli fouls that off quickly down 0-2.
And I'm missing one. There were 4. What am I missing?
You were missing. Did you mention the bunting and the fouling off?
So the bunting. I mean, I think that can play some into the strategy. And again, I don't think it's another one of those rules that is really going to make too big of a difference. I think the no shift rule in Major League Baseball is far more impactful than anything they've talked about.
I mean, as the 0-2 is grounded to Ryan Jackson, has it and flips to Noel. And we don't take a commercial break. We can just keep rolling over our discussion. I think the bunting rule plays right into what you were talking about, where they want to get away from those 3 true outcomes. So if you foul off a bunt that had been a strikeout, now you get a chance to kind of redeem yourself. It's just keeping guys from striking out, really, or walking, or just creating more action on the base paths, I feel like.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're looking for. They want to increase the play on the field, and they want to increase the action on the field. And while purists may look at it and go, I love to watch a 1-0 game, Americans are not known for loving 1-0 games. So they like runs, they like action, they like things going on, and I think this will increase it. Now, you don't want to completely forget about the rules and have I think the fear is that you're creating Three Stooges baseball.
Sure.
But I don't really think that's going to be the case in what's happening.
I think the key to remember here is that no matter what, there is a long, drawn-out process to add any rule to Major League Baseball. So for people that are up in arms and thinking these rules are going to be happen at Minute Maid Park this season or even next season, take a step back. It's going to the collective bargaining agreement for Major League Baseball goes through, I believe, 2020 or 2022. It's one of those 2 years, and I'm drawing a blank. There are a lot of pressing issues, none of which have to even really do with these rule changes. You think about free agency in baseball, there is a lot they have to work through before they even think about adding rules like this. There's the universal DH. I mean, that's a rule that, I mean, if you think about how far back it could take for these rules, I think Major League Baseball just wants to see if the goal is A, which is create balls and play action on the bases, does B make it happen, and B would be in the rules. So
yeah, and I think, and when you look at where this will end up when the Astros will have these, I think it's no different than when they made the policy on chewing tobacco in the dugout. They didn't start that at Major Leagues. For those that remember far back, I'm showing my age now, but they didn't start that in Major League Baseball. They started that at short single A, then the next year is single A, the next year is double A. So as players came up, they were used to not having tobacco in the dugout. So by the time it hit Major Leagues, Major Leaguers had heard it for 4 years, or 5 years, that it was coming. I think you're going to see the same thing with a lot of these rules, although I really think the no-shift rule should be implemented next year. It's an easy one, and I think it's one that will make the game more interesting. Anyone on YouTube that's watching the stream, ask your question.
Let us know.
There are still questions unanswered in this process, but how things are scored are somewhat defined, but it changes a little bit. It probably will change as we move forward.
We're learning as we go, and Rico Noel making his first at bat with the Skeeters, squares to bunt, takes the ball quickly 2-0 to him.
Aptly named.
I know, on Christmas in July.
Look at that. First day with the Skeeters, Christmas in July. He needs to have a breakout game.
I know, we got a Noel, and he's one of those guys who might actually really factor into that bunt rule where you can bunt and foul a ball off with 2 strikes, because he's
now is he the first Noel that we've had?
It is the first Noel.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
I didn't hear the walk-up music. Our music guy Shea Villarreal didn't.
You would think he would do the first Noel. I mean, I think that's a little no-brainer.
That's low-hanging fruit for him. He picks up on things way more nuanced than that. 2-2 now to Noel is Seth Simmons.
So if your dad on YouTube has any questions, feel free, Dad, to send them in.
Oh yeah, we were talking about it. I was talking on the phone about some of this earlier this week, and I would put him more along the line of baseball purist, but I think, like most people, just kind of curious to see what it looks like. And I think if there's a league to do it in, it's the Atlantic League. Got a lot of former major leaguers out here. The competition level is pretty high, and
this is as close as they can get in non-affiliated ball. And the reason why you don't put it in affiliated ball is because of the union contracts and different things that you can and cannot do. And so they have to get those approved. It takes time. It takes lawyers. With us, it's a little faster process, and you have the same major league quality players.
Noel swings through the breaking ball there. Strike 3, out number 1 here. No score. Bottom of the first inning. Opening the second half in style. Look at those uniforms out there. Those are some good, ugly Christmas sweater uniforms.
They are as ugly as you can get, but man, they're good-looking unis.
Yeah, I mean,
Shea did a great job.
Shea did a fantastic job. Last year it was
Elf, right?
It was they were some interesting looking uniforms. These are probably making the players a little more happy. They're not looking like Santa's helpers out there. Anthony Jansanti, the captain, making his first at bat of the second half, takes a breaking ball for a strike. So Seth Simmons, the righty for the Ducks, deja vu. He was here with the High Point Rockers, the last homestand of the first half, and he got traded today to the Ducks to complete a trade from earlier in the season. Jansanti fouls that back 0-2. And so, Chris, you were at the All-Star game too. So, what were your thoughts on the automated ball strike system that was
fantastic.
debuted?
I mean, and it's funny because you have this system, and we've looked at some of the data points that show up, the spin rate, the drop rate, all these pretty incredible data that comes from this. But then we sat down, and I could actually hear it. So I was in with the Major League folks in the press box because that's the first game that ever did it, and got to hear ball, strike.
Yeah.
And it's so basic, but it was pretty cool because you're trying to compare as someone in the press box. All right, is that really a strike? What's going to be really interesting when we implement it will be that the high strike gets called. And traditionally in baseball, the high strike doesn't get called, and that'll be an adjustment players will have to make. The other thing that I think was really interesting talking to some of the players, they're pretty excited about it because there's a lot of them that feel that veteran players get some calls that they don't get, and so they believe that this will even it out. And the other part too is that where umpires will get a little tighter as the game goes on in tighter contests, so they're less likely to punch somebody out because they want to see people playing. And this one, it's not going to matter what they think. They will call them out. They'll call them safe. And there was one time somebody had a problem with it, and how about that? Who had the second batter today?
And look at that.
Giddy up, Buttercup.
I know.
I won for the first time.
Nice.
The second half is starting out right.
Nice. I don't know if you were mentioning that or Kovu, the bat dog, coming in.
I'm excited about that, too. I got a little excited
Getting the job done. No, I mean, there you go. Winning the hit game is always exciting.
So, Bat Dog, we talked about Bat Dog?
We haven't talked about Kovu, the bat dog yet. 13 out of 10, the best bat dog in minor league baseball.
Excited to have him in for the weekends, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm a big dog guy, so for me, having a dog on the field is a lot of fun. Very well-trained animal.
Yeah.
Does a fantastic job, and his handler's great, and we're just excited to have him here.
He, 1 for 1, did a fantastic job retrieving the bat of Anthony Jansanti, who has singled to Zach Borenstein. Big, deep fly
and
ball
that's
to
not
right
coming
field.
back to the yard.
Kiss it goodbye, Zach Borenstein. Big-time 2-run homer to deep right field out to the grassland. 2-run homer. Skeeters take a 2-0 lead. Oh, my goodness, that ball. I don't even know where it landed. Chris, you got eyes on that?
It landed somewhere in downtown Sugarland.
My goodness.
It could still, I believe it came down with ice crystals.
Well, how about that? A 2-0 lead over the Ducks here at the bottom of the first. All you can do if you're Anthony Jansanti, he just had to smile there. My goodness, Zach Borenstein got a hold of that one.
Now, so the interesting thing about that, it was a shot, but it's also, we've not talked about wind in the ballpark today. The first time we have wind going out.
Wind blowing out to right field. That's a great point, Chris. And Borenstein, home run number 9 on the year. RBIs number 27 and 28 as we take a 2-0 lead. Wow, when Zach Borenstein can get a hold of one, man, he's got some serious power to all fields as Dennis Phipps. Yeah.
It had height. It went out of this park really fast.
There aren't too many home runs in this ballpark that will make a right fielder freeze and not even move. And to me, I was like, oh, he's camped under it. And nope, he was not camped under it. That
gone.
ball
He
was
knew that was gone.
Yeah. David Washington at right, who's hit a couple home runs like that in this ballpark that have made people stop in their tracks. You could just watch that one sail out. So Dennis Phipps now takes a ball 1-1. No need to wait for a ball to get in the dirt there. If you're Zach Borenstein, you get a fastball middle in like that, and you just send it over the right field seats.
So, watching TrackMan, we'll get back to TrackMan a little bit since this will be the rules inning. And here comes the pitch. With listening to it, and although now it's called the automatic balls and strikes, which really rolls off the tongue. But it's a pretty cool system, and it's really not that big of a deal. I think it'll be more helpful. I was on the fence for a while, and then as I've seen it in action, I think the umpires like it better because, all right, what are the number one thing players complain about? Balls and strikes.
Yeah.
Now you have no complaint. And so now you don't have that. And so what is really, really cool is that, in fact, one time during the All-Star game, one of the players looked back at him, at the umpire, and the umpire just tapped to his ear. And that was it. That ended the argument. That ended the conversation.
Phipps takes ball 4 there. Got a little discrepancy between the scoreboard and the home plate umpire, but a ball 4 and Kovu out there to get the pad. Uh-oh.
Some confusion.
There he goes. He didn't know
he
he
got
hit
the now he's got the bat. Hey, here we go.
Good boy, Kovu. Fans cheering him on there. Ball. So Phipps reaches with the base on balls there with 1 away. 2-0 lead for the Skeeters.
7-year-old Shepherd.
Wow.
Beautiful dog.
He came right up and was sniffing me, like looking at my hand a little bit. Where I was taking a picture of him earlier in the game. He's a good boy. He's trained, obviously, as you mentioned, incredibly well. I mean, my God, I wish I get my dog
man who
to
does
do that.
Runs a training company, so I mean,
yeah,
it's
that's the whole.
It's good advertising for him too.
Sure, yeah, and I mean, going back to the automated ball strike system, I think the thing that there was a lot of people who were skeptical of it. I think what softened people's views, at least in my opinion, is that the players seem to like it a lot, and so people are like, well, if the players like it, then why, as fans, what do we have to say? I mean, they're the ones that are playing the game. If this is what they want, ultimately, then that's what should happen.
Well, and what I've never understood, I mean, give Major League Baseball credit for attempting to modernize the game. You got the NFL that easily could put a microchip in both ends of the football and be able to tell exactly where on the field the ball should be spotted.
Yeah.
And yet still we're doing links of a chain and the same thing they did 100 years ago.
I mean, by far, that actually might be the most archaic thing in all professional sports is the chain.
It's just
they use note cards to like figure out if, I mean, that is actually, like, I feel like one of the most archaic things that any sports team does.
So, I think Major League Baseball is trying. And I think they're trying different things. And I think what they've tried so far, and I definitely, after that home run, you're definitely seeing a little bit of a rattle.
Yeah. I think COVID, we gotta let him know the elbow pads are no go. Just go for the bat. Go for the hardwood.
He wants to get it.
He wants that elbow pad.
There he goes.
So Chris, we had a question on YouTube. What if the catcher clearly misses the ball and it hits the umpire and deflects off him to the backstop? The umpire is in play in fair territory, but what about if he's in foul territory? Is it a dead ball or is it a fair ball? If
it's not a dead. As we understand it, that's a great question. That did not come up in the conversations that we had.
Yeah.
But it is a live ball until the catcher grabs it. So, for instance, if the ball goes behind home plate, the catcher gets it or is going to get it, and the runner hasn't decided to run yet. The moment he grabs the ball, the runner at home plate cannot advance at that point. That doesn't really answer his question. I believe he's still live in the game.
Yeah, I mean, because now that technically if that ball is live, then anything behind it should be live too. So I would assume that
until he recovers the ball.
Yeah.
And then
kind of like an umpire at second base. If it hits the umpire at second base,
correct, he's still live.
It's a live ball.
Yeah. So, and I think his question on YouTube was the fact that the umpire is technically in foul territory.
Yeah, so it should be a dead ball by most standards.
Not, we believe. Don't hold me to that.
We'll see. I mean, that's a good question.
See, that pitch right there is a pretty fascinating one because I have a feeling on the ABS system that's a strike. And they called it a ball, but that's a strike thing in the
because
ABS.
You have guys like Juan Silverio who do crowd the plate, so they create the illusion that ball's inside. When now there's no illusion anymore. It's a fixed strike zone that is not going to change no matter where you line up on the plate.
Now, so our first question was, how do you score this?
Yeah.
How is it scored? I mean, immediately I'm like, that was my first question in the meeting.
Pretty important.
How's it scored? So if he makes it, it's a walk, and if he doesn't, it's a strikeout.
Juan Silverio lines that into center field, down in front of Ray Fuentes for a base hit. Phipps is going to hold up at third base as everyone advances a base. Base is full of Skeeters now after the single from Silverio. 2-0 lead.
It was interesting. We were up watching the game with a lot of other executives from the Atlantic League, and Juan was up during the All-Star game, and a ball buzzed past him, went to the backstop, and the whole group started going, "Run, run!"
Yeah.
And then we had to remind everyone.
So the rules weren't
doing the rules
that's
in that game. Just ABS, the automatic balls and strikes.
And I guess if you want to speak to like the amount of exposure this gets the league. I mean, we were talking before the game about the Skeeters are mentioned on Around the Horn and ESPN. I mean, the Atlantic League is mentioned all over ESPN, all over MLB Network, all over. I mean, Good Morning America. I mean, it was a lot of good exposure for the league.
And people who are going to be baseball purists, okay, that's fine, I get it. But chances are you're not coming out to these games. And so why don't you come out and see it in action and see if it bastardizes the game in your view? Because it's not going to. These are things that will either enhance speed of play or it will improve the amount of action in the field, both of which are positives.
I mean, I can count on one hand the times that the rule changes from the first half came up in the first half. I mean, it was very minimal. It was a very minimally – the shifting rule came up a lot, but teams still did find out ways to shift. I mean, the rockers,
the mound visits that you found to send your trainer out.
I mean,
and with instructions out. I mean, I think people found the way
exactly. Or
you had
if a runner's on second base, you can take your catcher out there to go talk about quote unquote signs, quote unquote. But like most guys probably just use that to give their pitcher a chance to catch his breath. And Seth Simmons could use a breath here as that one skied to center field. Dennis Phipps tagging. Fuentes with the grab. He's just going to throw it to his cutoff man, and Phippsy strides on home. Run number 3 for the Skeeters, 3-0 lead.
There could have been a play at the plate. You do not have a fast runner at third. I don't know the arm strength of the center fielder, so you can kind of fill me in on that.
Ray Fuentes, I mean, decent arm. I think he probably forgot he was on third base. I would say would be the best explanation of that one, because you don't even need a great arm, and you might have had a play there.
Yeah, I mean, and so that's a little surprising, but early in the game, maybe you give that one up.
I mean, Dennis Phipps does a lot of things well with the bat. I would say his speed is probably his least valuable tool. He'd probably admit that to you as well. So, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of shocked that they elected to just kind of punt on that and cut it off. So it'll be Albert Cordero now with 2 away. Already 3 runs in for the Skeeters. Zach Borenstein, a 2-run homer and a sac fly just right there from Ryan Jackson. Coco hits that sharply to the first baseman, Dave Benson Romero, the former New Britain B. Flips to Seth Simmons for out number 3.
As we advance in this game, anyone from YouTube have questions, let us know. We'll answer them as best we can. We can't say we'll know every single answer.
We have one more question from the same guy.
Oh,
actually, a good question too. If first base is occupied and the batter tries to steal first, does the first baseman have to just step on a bag as a force play to get the batter out, or must he be tagged? So I guess what he's asking is, if there's a guy on first base, how does that rule come into effect? Is it a force play at second, or is it a force play at first?
We believe, and let me confirm that, because I know we talked about it. I'm trying to remember my notes. I believe it's a force play at first. But what I will do is I'll double check that. I'll get an answer to it on
Tom Stry asking some good questions on YouTube.
I like it. No, keep them coming, because we don't necessarily know the answers, but we definitely want to know the questions you all have. And what I'll do is I'll start compiling these. I'll send a text out to our league president tonight, which he'll love getting this, but he should be used to it by now. He's the one who made these rules.
Yeah,
not true.
Well,
but it's we'll get an answer to these things so that you all know, because we're finding out as well. There are going to be, with every rule change, there are going to be things that make perfect sense that are going to be in line with what the people that created that rule change envisioned. And there are going to be other things, the old rule of unintended consequences, that are going to be a little different.
Yeah, I mean, that's to be expected with a lot of balls in the air. We got now we're up to, so we had.
Am I supposed to feel you're pausing? That dead air is brought to you by Dead Air and Associates. When you need dead air, get the Associates.
The Associates will take care of you. We had 7 rule changes, then it was minimized to 5. So now we're up to 9 rule changes with a 10th looming in the automated ball strike system. So I mean, there's plenty.
A lot, and we signed an agreement with Major League Baseball. The league signed an agreement with Major League Baseball, and they have the right inside that agreement to make changes and test them out. Now there are certain times where there are certain rule changes got denied. Obviously, the most immediate one is the mounds and changing the mounds, which I think may be an interesting thing to discover, but would have created far more difficulties on our players, on potential players, people coming to the league. That would have been very problematic.
That one seemed to catch the most resistance from the initial rollout.
I think rightly so.
Yeah, and there were some comments made by the MLB commissioner that were a little disparaging.
I appreciate those comments every single day, because that sped up the whole process of getting that eliminated, I think.
They were, I don't need to retread them, but they were pretty bad. They did not make the Atlantic League seem like a very valuable asset, and we certainly are.
And to his defense, he said a lot of that was taken out of context, and this was part of a wider conversation. It was a hot comment, a hot take that they could use and fan the flames of followers and everything else.
And he's got a tough job. I mean, there's hot button topics all over the place, and I'm sure
if you keep the game the same on the major league level, fewer people are coming out.
Yeah.
So if you keep the game the same, you will continue to have fewer people coming out. So you have to find ways to innovate and to modernize. It's just that's how sports have to go. The hard part is that he's up against 100-plus years of history.
Yeah, and that one misses low to Dave Benson Romero, notably of the New Britain Bees, an all-star for him last year, won the home run derby, was traded to the Ducks toward the end of the first half.
That trade started a lot of changes. That was also a change in the Atlantic League, where all trades now have to go through the commissioner's office.
Interesting, as
Great
Rico
catch.
Noel makes a nice play running into center field there on the run.
That his first catch?
That's his first put out as a Skeeter.
First Noel. All
His
right.
first Noel, and
I
he's
just keep beating that.
he's a natural center fielder. He kind of looked like it there. He ran that one down like a center fielder going back on a baseball there toward the outfield. Nicely done by Noel, who I should mention a 5th-round pick of the Padres back in 2010. Sneak that Padres connection in there.
Oh, my goodness.
He has a pretty
For
interesting.
those that had Padres on your bingo card, congratulations. You can bring your winnings to the Long Island Radisson for a free night stay.
I might have to actually make a stay at the Long Island Radisson there if we end up meeting these guys here in the championship series, which I guarantee you we will. We've all the 2 times the Skeeters have made the championship series.
Guaranteeing? What is wrong with you people?
They've
Guaranteeing stuff?
If we make
Let's get out of the playoffs
if
first.
If we make the championship series, we will play the Ducks. I'm calling that one
Why would you call this?
because it just always happens, and then we get to
Hey,
beat,
it has happened twice.
and then we get to beat the Ducks and then win it all.
Oh, you keep going. Keep going.
David Washington, 18 home runs on the season, 2nd in the league, fouls that one back 2-1. He said it doesn't matter what the wind looks like. He had a home run this year that went into the parking lot in right field. It was off Roy Merritt back when the Ducks
He
were
has some
down.
that are in orbit.
Yeah.
Even today.
He is a big gentleman. That one taken for a strike, 2-2. This is where Lionheart's got to be extra careful. He's pitched well so far, 3-0 lead. He's staked to just 1 hit so far for the Ducks. Got 1 out here in the 2nd inning. But Washington has gotten many a pitcher before. Was an all-star this year. Good fastball in the corner has Washington looking for strike number 3. Out number 2. First strikeout of the night for Joe Lionheart. Throw that ball in the dugout. It's his first strikeout on his first pro start.
So you look at, too, another thing that's going to change eventually as these rules start becoming real is that one of the greatest traits a catcher has is the ability to frame a pitch. As these things happen, that's going to become an irrelevant. It doesn't matter whether you can frame a pitch. And so certain skills that catchers have been trained to utilize are going to be different. I mean, traditionally, you probably don't have your most athletic players in that position. You're going to have more athletic players in that position because of potentially the cost of wild pitches become greater now.
Well, Daniel Fields grounds out there to Rico Noel.
More questions, let me know.
Yeah,
we've got to get,
you're coming back for the 9th inning per usual, I'm sure.
Shall see.
And thank you to Christopher Hill for stopping by and shedding some light on all of our new rule changes in the league. We will take a commercial break here as we are through 2 innings at Constellation Field. 3-0 lead for the Skeeters. We open up our homestand today. 2nd half of baseball in the Atlantic League has begun.
Hello, Houston. Tomorrow's here. Time for
All right, we're getting ready to start things up here in the bottom of the second. Blair Beck going to lead it off for the Skeeters. Hope you guys enjoyed Christopher Hill, our president in the booth. Wanted to make sure he was able to kind of explain the new rules and just what that means really for the league, because it just means there's a reason for everything, and there's a reason for these rule changes. And I think it's important that Chris got in here because he was in the league meetings. He was right there. He heard right from the horse's mouth as far as why these changes are being implemented. And do appreciate him coming in. Busy night. Great crowd on hand. It's Christmas in July as Blair Beck swings and misses 1-1. Seth Simmons didn't get to touch on this. He is the starter tonight for the Ducks. He is kind of probably feeling like he's pitching mostly in Texas lately, as now he's making his third start here in Sugar Land this year as Beck grounds it to Frias out shortstop, and Frias over to Romero in time for out number 1. Kobu the Bad Dog is killing it tonight, by the way. He is. Besides, we had to just make sure he realized not to go after the elbow guards, and once we got that down, we've just been cooking with some heat. He is doing a fantastic job. One away, it's going to be Rico Noel making his Skeeters debut. The former New York Yankee squares the bunt, takes the ball 1-0. Noel's got a very interesting stat line as far as his major league career. He appeared in 15 games, but he went 1 for 2. And you're thinking, like, well, where did he was a pinch runner a lot of times, and that speed is what's made most of his career to this point. He stole 5 bases, scored 5 runs in 15 games, and also went 1 for 2. So he had himself a good major league career, despite you being used predominantly as a pinch runner. So Noel making his first at-bat against Seth Simmons. The Skeeters were hitting .258 against Simmons, though, this year. A couple home runs, now 3. Beck and Juan Silverio had taken him deep already this year. And now Zach Bornstein joins that club. A 2-run homer in the first inning. That's helped put the Skeeters out 3-0 here in the bottom of the second. It's 2-1 to Noel. Squares the bunt again. Fastball called a strike on the outside edge to make it 2-2. Noel, we talked about it earlier. Cup of coffee in the Mexican League with Yucatan. Probably just totally butchered that. But not a great stint with them. But last year with the Barnstormers, a 300 hitter, stole 53 bases, and fastball upstairs. Simmons gets Noel to chase up the ladder for strike number 3. Noel is now striking out in each of his first 2 at-bats with the Skeeters uniform. He made a nice play, though, at second base last inning, running down a fly ball in shallow center. One of those guys, too, where he can play a multitude of positions. He can play the infield as well as all 3 outfield spots. So I'm sure you'll see him there. With 2 away, it's going to be Anthony Jansanti now. Jansanti with a single in his first at-bat came around to score on the Zach Bornstein home run. Anthony in the first half hit .231, 4 homers, 26 RBIs. Was your MVP last year. Not quite up to the numbers he had last year, but wears that Captain C on his jersey, and a lot is expected of him. He can play anywhere on the field, and it's going to be relied on heavily as the Skeeters now can prepare for that championship run. I know our president, Christopher Hill, would smack me if I started talking about playoffs again, but it's one of those things. Hey, we're already in the playoffs. We have a first-round matchup to be determined. We'll see if the Skeeters win the second half as well, as Jansanti skies that into foul territory, third base side. Rivera calls for it. That one brings him almost all the way back into fair territory and has it for out number 3. So 3-3 down. Go the Skeeters here in the bottom of the second inning. 3-0 lead for the Skeeters. It's game number 1 of this second half. We head to the third inning.
Texas Farm Bureau members get free tickets to Skeeters home games every Sunday all season long. Just show proof of your membership at the ticket office to get 2 free tickets to any Sunday home game while supplies last. Visit texasfarmbureau.org/sport to learn more about this offer and other benefits associated with your membership. This offer is exclusive to Texas Farm Bureau members and is only available while supplies last. So become a member today. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsor of the Sugar Land Skeeters.
Hello, Houston. Tomorrow's here. Time for an energy company that does more than just sell electricity, and that's Constellation. We offer electricity plans that include protection for your air conditioning. If something goes wrong, we'll fix it, and you pay nothing for covered parts and labor. Visit constellation.com/getmore or call 888-921-MORE to learn how all of this is included in one great electricity rate. Certain restrictions apply. Visit constellation.com or speak to a care representative for details. PUC 10014.
What's up, dudes? Pamela Printing, the preferred printer of the Sugarland Skeeters, the name you hear most often in Fort Bend County. People are talking about quality, dependability, on time, and helpfulness in producing a great business piece for their company.
Nothing provides the flexibility to watch the Skeeters on your time like our exciting mini plans for the 2019 season. Some of our plans include a fireworks plan with tickets to all of our Friday firework games. Catch the buzz on the weekends and come away with some of our hottest giveaway items with our Saturday night plan. Enjoy the ultimate flexibility with our Pick 8 plan, giving you the chance to pick out 8 games that work best for you. Visit SugarlandSkeeters.com to find out more information on all of our mini plans. Sugarland Skeeters, more than baseball.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that finding the right team for your painting project can be overwhelming. We want you to have the best experience as we help your home or business come to life. We strive to deliver on our promise of care and quality. With our professionals by your side, the process will be easy and convenient, leaving you time for what matters most, like watching the Skeeters. Visit CertaPro.com today to book your free estimate. That's CertaPro with a C, C-E-R-T-A Pro.com. We do painting, you do life.
Don't miss out on daily.
All right, we're here in the third inning now. Ramon Cabrera has taken a first pitch ball from Joe Leinhardt. Second pitch in the dirt. Swung on a miss. Technically, I guess he could have advanced there. I don't think that one was fouled off, but he has chosen to stay at home plate. That was really the first time I think we had a situation where a guy could have taken off, I guess, if he wished. The donut chant. First time in the second half. That one's chopped lightly toward second base. Rico Noel has it and easily fires over to Blair Beck at first base. Good for out number 1. Joe Leinhardt been extra sharp tonight. Just one hit now through 2 1/3 innings. Making his first career pro start is Joe Leinhardt, Oklahoma State Cowboy. And I mean, he pitched as a starter mostly at Oklahoma State, so this is not something that's foreign to him, but coming into the pro level, he had been mostly kind of a swingman, a stretch guy for the Skeeters out of the bullpen. And with Dallas Beeler not able to make tonight's game due to some travel complications, he was called into action. He was going to be the 5th starter out of the bullpen here in the series. Vladimir Frias fouls out one away to make it 0-1. Leinhardt was a all Big 12 honorable mention as a junior in 2018. He went 4-1 in his Big 12 starts that season. Backdoor breaking ball gets Frias to foul that one away. It keeps it here at 0-2. His dad, Steve Leinhardt, pitched with Oklahoma State in the late 80s. From 1984 to 87 as Frias swings and misses there. Strike number 3. Second K of the night for Joe Leinhardt. 2 away here in the third inning. But Steve Leinhardt, his dad, pitched from 84 to 87 with the Pokes out in Oklahoma State with Pete and Gavilia. They were teammates on Oklahoma State for a bit. And Inky, member of the National College Baseball Hall of Fame, you could argue pretty easily that he was the best player to ever come out of Oklahoma State, although they have had some good players. I mean, most notably other guys like Robin Ventura, who had a pretty lengthy hitting streak in college, came out of there. But, I mean, Inky was the college baseball player of the century in Oklahoma, so you'd probably be hard-pressed to find someone else, especially in his own college, that you can compare him to. But besides the point, a lot of Oklahoma State connections there, and Leinhardt has looked great so far tonight. And one of those guys who could be a hidden gem. I mean, you have some room to experiment here in the second half and give guys like him a shot in the 2-0. Ezekiel Carrera swings and misses there to make it 2-1. It's 3-0 lead for the Skeeters, 2 away here in the third inning. Zach Bornstein, his 2-run home run has helped the Skeeters out get on front here. That one's grounded sharply to Noel. Good backhanded stop on the run. High throw to Blair Beck, who gloves it, makes the tag of Carrera there for out number 3. Nice job on both ends there from Noel and Beck to finish the play off there. So 1-2-3 go the Ducks. 3-0 lead for the Skeeters We head to the bottom of the third inning.
What's up, dudes? Pamela Printing, the preferred printer of the Sugarland Skeeters, the name you hear most often in Fort Bend County. People are talking about quality, dependability, on time, and helpfulness in producing a great business piece for their company.
Nothing provides the flexibility to watch the Skeeters on your time like our exciting mini plans for the 2019 season. Some of our plans include a fireworks plan with tickets to all of our Friday firework games. Catch the buzz on the weekends and come away with some of our hottest giveaway items with our Saturday night plan. Enjoy the ultimate flexibility with our Pick 8 plan, giving you the chance to pick out 8 games that work best for you. Visit SugarlandSkeeters.com to find out more information on all of our mini plans. Sugarland Skeeters, more than baseball.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that finding the right team for your painting project can be overwhelming. We want you to have the best experience as we help your home or business come to life. We strive to deliver on our promise of care and quality. With our professionals by your side, the process will be easy and convenient, leaving you time for what matters most, like watching the Skeeters. Visit CertaPro.com today to book your free estimate. That's CertaPro with a C, C-E-R-T-A Pro.com. We do painting, you do life.
Don't miss out on daily promotions this season at Constellation Field. Come to the park on Monday for discounted margarita prices as well as free tickets for fans who present military and first responder IDs. Visit us on Wednesday and enjoy $1 hot dogs as well as discounts of White Claw hard seltzer. Come thirsty on Thursday for $2 beers and sodas. And you definitely won't want to miss out on Fireworks Fridays. Close the week out on Sunday Fun Day where we'll have pregame autographs and kids run the bases. Sugarland Skeeters, it's more than baseball.
Already at the bottom of the third inning, Zach Borenstein got his stride to the plate. He's already left the yard tonight, a 2-run home run. The Skeeters lead 3-0 over the Long Island Ducks here in the third inning. The Ducks have really been one of the few teams over these last 2 years that have had the Skeeters number, although this year the Skeeters did finish the first half at 35-35, so they weren't as dominant as they were in 2018, but the Ducks, nonetheless, they were 8-10 against the Skeeters last year, and now 3-7 entering this one, and the numbers haven't favored the Skeeters all that well against the Ducks, but tonight, more importantly, it's been all Skeeters as Borenstein takes a strike from Seth Simmons, 0-1, and Simmons with the Rockers this year was 5-4 at 4.21 ERA. Making his first start with the Ducks, they acquired him to complete a trade from the offseason in which Asher Tolliver, the lefty reliever, who was an all-star out there in the Liberty Division with the Rockers, was traded to High Point from Long Island, so now they're sending back Seth Simmons to complete that trade. Skeeters have also made a trade with High Point this year that netted them lefty reliever Daniel Gibson. It's been effective so far. He was an all-star too, was selected to the all-star game, was unable to attend, but nonetheless one of the guys selected to the all-star game for the Skeeters. 1-2 to Borenstein, who now has 9 homers on the year. Takes a high fastball there to even things up at 2-2. Two pitch grounded sharply to the Ramiro, the first baseman, who backhands it, and covering the bag is Simmons, the pitcher. Nice banana route there. Has it for out number 1 here in the third. Dennis Phipps, riding a 9-game hitting streak, strides into the plate. Dennis Phipps, kind of a shame he wasn't elected to the All-Star team. His average was not up there, but that seems to be a pretty big theme with most major leaguers, so I wouldn't say that should have discounted him from landing a spot on the All-Star team, but he leads the Skeeters with 14 home runs, not to mention he finished on a high note. He finished with a 9-game hitting streak. His 14 home runs are tied for 3rd in the Atlantic League. First pitch, ball outside, 1-0. He walked in his first at-bat. Average now up to 253. And big swing from Phipps. He fouls it straight back off the net to make it 1-1. It's a 3-0 lead for the Skeeters. Game number 1 of a 6-game series between these two teams. All games, night games, except for the finale on Wednesday. It'll be an 11:05 a.m. game between these two clubs. Phipps takes a fastball away to make it a 2-1 count. A lot of stuff going on this weekend. Got Christmas in July tonight, as you see with the jerseys, which Yeah, they're pretty sleek looking jerseys, ugly Christmas sweater themed. Our graphics coordinator, Shay Rao, he is one of the best in the business. He does a great job. 2-2 now as Phipps swings through that one. And then tomorrow is our Parrot Head night. So any Parrot Heads out there listening, thinking you want to make your way out to Constellation Field, I'd advise so. We got Bama Breeze, a Jimmy Buffett cover band playing before the game. Parrot Head themed jerseys, a Parrot Head themed jersey giveaway for the first 2,000 fans in attendance as well. So a lot going on this weekend and Sunday. Obviously Sunday fun day, autographs, pregame catch on the field. Kids run the bases courtesy of Dr. Larry Caldwell postgame. So a lot on tap as that one's grounded to Romero. Again, flips it to Simmons and Deja Vu. 3-1 put out for both of the first 2 outs here in the 3rd inning. So it'll be Jason Martinson now with 2 away here in the 3rd inning. Martinson had a great road trip. He's really heated up on the road, mostly over the 6-game road trip, was 7 for 19. Hit 3 home runs, drove in 7 runs, scored 9 runs in a 6-game stretch on that road trip in Long Island and then New Britain, and then also drew 7 walks. Really a fantastic road trip for Martinson, who's up to 10 homers on the year now. Takes the first pitch ball from Simmons, 1-0. Up to 31 RBIs on the season. Martinson takes away there to make it a 2-0 count. Martinson, a .254 hitter on the road. 8 of his 10 home runs have also come on the road. One of his home runs at Constellation Field, though, came in his season debut here against the Ducks. And that game all the way back in the month of May. Long Island came here for a 3-game series in mid-May, and May 11th, Jason Martinson made his debut and left the yard. He had a home run in his first at-bat with the Skeeters. Remember that one? Deep shot to the sport court in left center field. He's 1-1 here. Simmons out of the windup. Misses away, makes it 2-1. Skeeters got to Simmons. He pitched on Saturday of the 6-game series against the Rockers. That was the game the Skeeters snapped their 8-game losing streak, as Martinson takes a fastball there to make it a full count here with 2 away. Skeeters ended up winning the last 2 games of their series against the Rockers before they hit the road, and a tough stretch, but they ended up snapping that 8-game skid, a season high, a franchise record skid against Simmons, and the front door curveball. Simmons gets the call, much to the chagrin of Jason Martinson. So that's going to do it here in the 3rd inning. Skeeters go down in order. They do lead, though, 3-0 over Long Island as we move to the 4th here on a beautiful Friday night at Constellation Field.
Texas Farm Bureau members get free tickets to Skeeters home games every Sunday all season long. Just show proof of your membership at the ticket office to get 2 free tickets to any Sunday home game while supplies last. Visit texasfarmbureau.org/sport to learn more about this offer and other benefits associated with your membership. This offer is exclusive to Texas Farm Bureau members and is only available while supplies last. So become a member today. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsor of the Sugar Land Skeeters.
Hello, Houston. Tomorrow's here. Time for an energy company that does more than just sell electricity, and that's Constellation. We offer electricity plans that include protection for your air conditioning. If something goes wrong, we'll fix it, and you pay nothing for covered parts and labor. Visit constellation.com/getmore or call 888-921-MORE to learn how all of this is included in one great electricity rate. Certain restrictions apply. Visit constellation.com or speak to a care representative for details. PUC 10014.
What's up, dudes? Pamela Printing, the preferred printer of the Sugar Land Skeeters, the name you hear most often in Fort Bend County. People are talking about quality, dependability, on time, and helpfulness in producing a great business piece for their company.
Nothing provides the flexibility to watch the Skeeters on your time like our exciting mini plans for the 2019 season. Some of our plans include a fireworks plan with tickets to all of our Friday firework games. Catch the buzz on the weekends and come away with some of our hottest giveaway items with our Saturday night plan. Enjoy the ultimate flexibility with our Pick 8 plan, giving you the chance to pick out 8 games that work best for you. Visit SugarlandSkeeters.com to find out more information on all of our mini plans. Sugarland Skeeters, more than baseball.
To the 4th inning we go. A 3-0 lead for the Skeeters. Joe Lionhard, see him there, back out for another inning here of work, and his first pro start in has been great so far. Former Oklahoma State Cowboys looked mighty sharp. I mentioned this is his first pro start. He's only had 4 appearances coming into tonight, and he has looked the part of an Atlantic League hurler. You'll get TJ Rivera, a former big leaguer, to lead things off. Here in the 4th inning, the first pitch in for a strike from Lionheart, 0-1 on the night. Lionheart allowed just 1 hit, no runs, no errors for the Skeeters. 3 runs, 3 hits, and no errors as well. And Rivera swings through that one, 0-2. Rivera, a late add to the Ducks, was with them toward the end of the first half. His first season in the Atlantic League, and lines that one into right field. That's down in front of Borenstein. A leadoff single. Borenstein slips for a second there, but gains his footing and is able to get it into the infield, holding Rivera at first base. Rivera was with the Mets in 2016 and 17. A lot of Mets connections on this Ducks team. Got Wally Backman, the manager, former New York Met, a former World Series champion with the New York Mets from the 80s. Kirk Neuenhuis, who is not in the lineup tonight. Also earlier this year, they had Matt Dendecker and John Neese, and they're a couple former Mets. First pitch to Fuentes, that's a called strike, 0-1. And Fuentes, when he was back here at Constellation Field in early May, he absolutely wore the Skeeters out. A good blend of power and speed from Fuentes, who's actually a cousin of Carlos Beltran, a sure-to-be Hall of Famer. This is Carlos Beltran's first year in retirement, so he's got 5 more after this one before he can get elected to the Hall of Fame. But gotta imagine he's getting the call. Fuentes is at 304 against the Skeeters this year in 7 games, 2 home runs. He's also stolen 3 bases. Speaking to that power and speed combo, the 1-1 grounds that foul down the first base side to make it a 1-2 count. Joe Lionheart entered no record in a 7-even ERA and has been up to the task tonight. We were talking earlier that he was going to have a spot in the rotation regardless. He was going to be the Skeeters' 5th starter, but bumped up tonight and last minute has looked amazing. And backdoor breaking ball, that's a strike 3 right there as Fuentes swings through. Looks like he maybe fouled it off, but hung on by Albert Cordero nonetheless. 3rd strikeout of the night for Joe Lionheart, out number 1 here in the 4th. It's going to be L.J. Mazzilli now, son of Lee Mazzilli, Lee Jr. He was hit with the recorder version of Jingle Bell Rock there. I was waiting for Shea to bust it out, and it looks like it got him because he pops up the first pitch in the infield. Blair Beck has it and reaches up to grab it for out number 2. Infield fly gets L.J. Mazzilli, an Atlantic League All-Star, there for out number 2 here in the inning. I like to think he was distracted by that one. I credit Shea, our music guy, for that one because first pitch he went up there, and I have to imagine the recorder. That thing hit me out of nowhere, and it's got to hit him out of nowhere too. Nicely done. Davinson Ramiro going to come up to bat now. Ramiro an All-Star this year, although most of his first half was spent with the Bees, who traded him to the Ducks. Bees handing off one of their All-Stars there. So with 1 away, Ramiro takes strike 0-1. Ramiro has made the All-Star team in both of his first 2 years in the Atlantic League, and he actually won the Home Run Derby in the league last year, which was in Long Island. Former Minnesota Twins prospects, as well as with the Pirates and Yankees in the affiliated level. Lionheart steps off, checks on the runner at first, TJ Rivera. 2 hits for the Ducks tonight, both singles, though 1 to Ramiro. And Ramiro gives it a ride, deep left field, but well, foul out of play into the HEB Picnic Plaza to make it a 0-2 count. Just a long strike right there. Ramiro originally signed by the Twins as an undrafted free agent. out of the Dominican Republic. He's 8 for 22 against the Skeeters this year. Coming into this one, he did pop out to Rico Noel on his first at-bat. Just 1 for 10 in his last series before entering the second half, and pops that one up to Noel again. It'll be Noel or Borenstein. Borenstein on the run, has it, gloves it for out number 3 of the inning. So Joe Lionheart continues to work a masterful first pro start as the Skeeters lead 3-0 through 4.5 here at Constellation Field. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning, a 3-0 Skeeters lead.
The Skeeter Buddies Kids Club create countless memories that will last a lifetime for kids ages 4 through 12. With 2 packages that are sure to meet your budget, the Skeeter Buddies Kids Club, sponsored by Meadow and Sugar Mill Montessori Schools, offer exclusive moments, such as batting and pitching lessons with players and front-of-the-line privileges or kids run the bases on Sunday Funday. For more information, visit SugarlandSkeeters.com. Sugarland Skeeters, more than baseball.
Plan your next group outing at beautiful Constellation Field. Looking to celebrate a birthday, host a large-scale event like a company party, or just looking to bring a large group to watch a baseball game? Constellation Field has you covered. We have several birthday packages as well as seating options that include our party suites and picnic plaza, as well as the field plaza to best accompany your group. Visit SugarlandSkeeters.com or call us at 281-240-HITS for more info on all of our group packages.
Memorial Hermann Sugarland Hospital has been named a recipient of the highly coveted 2016 Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award, the nation's highest presidential honor for performance excellence. Memorial Hermann Sugarland was recognized for its outstanding commitment to sustainable excellence through innovation, improvement, and visionary leadership. Memorial Hermann Sugarland is the first Houston area healthcare organization to earn the prestigious Baldrige Award and only the 3rd in Texas. The Sugarland Skeeters are proud to partner with Memorial Hermann Sugarland.
So Juan Silverio going to lead it off for the Skeeters here in the 4th inning. A 3-0 lead for the Skeeters. Game number 1 of the second half. And not much has changed in the second half as far as Juan Silverio goes. He started all 70 games in the first half for the Skeeters. He is the Iron Man of the Atlantic League. He's the only player to have started all 70 games in the first half. All at third base. He was an Atlantic League All-Star who 1 for 2 in the All-Star game with the single. Pops that one up to right field, pretty deep right field. That has Washington back there just a few steps in front of the track, but does have it there for out number 1 here in the 4th as Seth Simmons returns to the mound for the Ducks. And Kovu the Bat Dog still out putting in work, retrieving Silverio's bat. Kovu the Bat Dog has been 100% effective tonight, man. He's making his debut here at Constellation Field, but he has been lights out. Fantastic job by him. Shout out to Sit Means Sit Houston, a dog training facility organization, and thank you so much for having Kovu out. I got to meet him before the game. Such a good boy, and I have a dog at home myself, big dog fan, and maybe miss my dog a little bit. Can't wait to get home to my puppy Arlie when this game gets over. But Kovu helped me, break that time up a little bit as Ryan Jackson misses or takes a ball inside as Seth Simmons misses inside to make it 1-1. Although if Arlie, my dog, tried to be a bat dog, I don't think it would go over so well. It'd probably have a lot of delays. I don't think she'd stop at just taking the bat and bringing it back. She'd probably make a victory lap around the warning track. So thankful for people like Sit Means Sit Houston who are so effective at training dogs and getting them to do things like go retrieve bats and provide everyone here at the ballpark a smile. And I'm sure everyone here is better off for having seen Kovu the Bat Dog do his thing tonight. 2-1 now to Jackson. He has 2 home runs on the year now. Both of them were hit on Long Island on the road when the Skeeters were there a few weeks ago. Jackson up ahead 3-1 now. Jackson against the Ducks this year is at .333, well above his .258 average. Both of his home runs, 3 RBIs on the season. against Long Island. And Seth Simmons out of the windup, delivers the 3-1 pitch outside, called a strike. Going to make things full here. Jackson, as we just mentioned, at the 258 mark now on the season. He flew out to center field, drove in a run at the sac fly in his first at-bat. Part of a 3-run first inning, and that one well outside, 4-4. So a 1-out walk to Ryan Jackson to get it going here in the 4th inning. 3-0 Skeeters lead. So Albert Cordero going to go up now. He grounded out sharply in his first at-bat of the game. Coco struggled a bit on the road trip, but still with 5 home runs and 22 RBIs, out of the league's catchers, still ranking atop the league there. First pitch to him is a strike on the outside edge, 0-1. The average certainly not where it was last year, but still pretty much on pace to meet or get nearer where he was last season. And keep in mind, he did that in limited playing time. I mean, Cody Stanley had been predominantly the catcher, and Chris Colabello, Okoye Dixon, even James Loney at the beginning of the year. Those guys had taken up all the opportunities at first base. Cordero lines that hard, but right at Washington in right field, and he has it there. Just a few steps to his right for out number 2. Stung that one, did Cordero, but just not in the right spot. So 2 away, and that'll bring up Blair Beck, who's made quite a name for himself in just a brief spell with the Skeeters. I don't know if you guys remember, he homered in his first at-bat with the Skeeters. That came back in his debut when High Point was in town back on June 29th. Homered in his very first at-bat, and I kid you not, Blair Beck arrived to the ballpark about 30 minutes before the game started with his stuff. He had to go retrieve his stuff from the airport, which led him to getting to the field about 30 minutes before first pitch. Gets into the game, comes in a pinch hit role because of an injury. At that point, it was Jared Mitchell, who's out of the lineup today too, had to leave the game with an injury. Blair Beck homers in his first at-bat. And he takes outside there. And then he goes on the road and has a 6 RBI game against Long Island. And that tied the Skeeters single-game record. So in just a very brief spell, he's had a couple of home runs, has matched the Skeeters single-game RBI record, and he's going to be finding himself some regular at-bats if he can keep that up. That was a heck of a game in Long Island, the game that Blair Beck tied the RBI record. That was July 2nd. The Skeeters were 1 home run away from matching their franchise, or setting their franchise record, rather, with 7 home runs. They had 6 home runs that night. How about that? 6 home runs in a game. 3-1 now to Beck, and Beck had 1 of them. Jason Martinson had 1 that night. Zach Bornstein had 1 that night. Dennis Phipps had 1. Juan Silverio had 1 as well. Just everyone caught in the action that night. A big lead for Jackson. He's on the move, but Beck fouls that one away. Can't blame him for swinging there on 3-1. Jackson got a good jump, though. He was kind of leaning towards second base and would have had that base stolen, but hitters count for Beck. He fouls it away. Well, now Jackson will for sure be on the move with 2 away, a full count. Skeeters leading 3-0 here in the bottom of the 4th. Christmas in July tonight. So I mentioned this is a prelude to Holiday Lights, Sugar Land Holiday Lights. Best light show in Houston. Coming to you in November as that one, a called strike 3. Beck, can't believe it. But rung up there for strike 3 to end the inning. As the Skeeters hang on to a 3-0 lead, we move to the 5th inning here on a gorgeous Friday night at Constellation Field, the 2018 Atlantic League Ballpark of the Year.
Hello, Houston. Tomorrow's here. Time for an energy company that does more than just sell electricity, and that's Constellation. We offer electricity plans that include protection for your air conditioning. If something goes wrong, we'll fix it, and you pay nothing for covered parts and labor. Visit constellation.com/getmore or call 888-921-MORE to learn how all of this is included in one great electricity rate. Certain restrictions apply. Visit constellation.com or speak to a care representative for details. PUC 10014.
The Skeeter Buddies Kids Club create countless memories that will last a lifetime for kids ages 4 through 12. With 2 packages that are sure to meet your budget, the Skeeter Buddies Kids Club, sponsored by Meadow and Sugar Mill Montessori Schools, offer exclusive moments, such as batting and pitching lessons with players and front-of-the-line privileges or kids run the bases on Sunday Fun. For more information, visit SugarlandSkeeters.com. Sugarland Skeeters, more than baseball.
What's up, dudes? Pamela Printing, the preferred printer of the Sugarland Skeeters, the name you hear most often in Fort Bend County. People are talking about quality, dependability, on time, and helpfulness in producing a great business piece for their company.
Nothing provides the flexibility to watch the Skeeters on your time like our exciting mini plans for the 2019 season. Some of our plans include a fireworks plan with tickets to all of our Friday firework games. Catch the buzz on the weekends and come away with some of our hottest giveaway items with our Saturday night plan. Enjoy the ultimate flexibility with our Pick 8 plan, giving you the chance to pick out 8 games that work best for you. Visit SugarlandSkeeters.com to find out more information on all of our mini plans. Sugarland Skeeters, more than baseball.
All right, we head to the 5th inning. Doug Fanley joining me in the booth now as the Skeeters hang on to a 3-0 lead. Zach Bornstein had a monster home run all the way back in the first inning. All 3 of those runs scored in the first inning. And speaking of monster home runs, you must be careful with the man up to bat now. It is David Washington leading it off for the Ducks. Takes a fastball away from Joe Leinhardt. Doug, I mean, Joe Leinhardt, this is his first pro start. Can you believe that? He's looked very, very efficient. He's looked very poised, really, too. A lot of strikes being thrown as Washington lines that hard to center field, but right at the captain, who flags it down on the run in right center for out number 1. I got to say, I was curious to how Joe Leinhardt would fare in his first pro start. You imagine, I mean, it doesn't come with a fanfare of like your first major league start, but there's still got to be some nerves, I'd imagine. And I mean, just 2 hits, both singles through 4 1/3 now, and he's looked great. And you're getting in ready now, as you can see him. I mean, look at the Skeeters bullpen; they're getting ready to go. You're gonna say, I mean, you only really need to get about 5-6 innings of work here, and you send it off to a bullpen that's well rested, coming off the All-Star break, ready to go. And I mean, you can't say enough about how he's done so far.
Kind of looks like every single guy out there is ready to go. Everybody's up, stretching, moving around.
Almost immediately, I don't know what happened, but like in the half inning, literally every body in that bullpen started doing a stretch of some sort. Somebody's there got a guy doing lunges. You got somebody doing their jobs. It looks like lefty Daniel Schlereth out there might be the first to get the call. And Daniel Fields, a former major leaguer, grounds sharply now 1-2. And I think that's the thing for Leinhardt is that you look at, and the Ducks really more than probably any other team in this league, you look up and down this lineup, Ezequiel Carrera, former Blue Jay, TJ Rivera, former Met, Ray Fuentes, a longtime former major leaguer, David Washington, former big leaguer, the guy up to bat, Daniel Fields. I mean, you're facing guys that have made it to the pinnacle. They've made it to where you're hoping to get to one day, as that one's grounded to the first baseman, Blair Beck, who fields it cleanly and touches the base for out number 2. 2 away here now in the 5th inning as Joe Leinhardt continues to mow down Ducks hitters. I mean, this is a Ducks team that has fared pretty well against the Skeeters this year. They were 3-7 coming into this one. The Skeeters as a team, pretty good ERA though, 3.93 ERA against the Ducks. So it's mostly been the Ducks pitching that's thwarted Skeeters hitting efforts, but still they came in hitting 242 and have not had as much success tonight. It's Ramon Cabrera now, the catcher, switch hitter. Takes a ball outside Albert Cordero. You like that call. I'm gonna turn my crowd mic down a little bit. You know it's the donut. You know it's donut chant. I don't even need my crowd mic hot for that one. You know what time it is. Cabrera takes a strike there, taking it all the way. It looked like 1-1. So Leinhardt this year with Oklahoma State was 4-1, a 4.39 ERA. He pitched in 21 games with the Cowboys, 8 of which were starts. That one is grounded through the left side and into left field, a base hit for Cabrera. Hit number 3 tonight for the Ducks. All 3 singles, so that's something you can at least hang your hat on. But I mean, Doug, you think about it, and I think that's what the second half is all about. Is maybe you find your Joe Leinhardts. You find guys that, Joe Leinhardt went undrafted somehow, which kind of baffles me a little bit. That you can go through 40 rounds and somehow not find a place for this guy on your minor league system. And you give him a chance to start now and see maybe you catch lightning in a bottle. As that one's grounded sharply in the middle. That one's by Noel, the second baseman, and into center field. Cabrera is going to hang there at second base. So first and second now with 2 away. But I just think that it opens, having clinched a playoff spot, you kind of open yourself up to maybe giving guys like Joe Leinart an extended look, a longer leash, if you will.
So, Paz, I'm sure you've talked about this tonight already before I got in here, but what do you think about the new rule implementation?
Oh, Christopher Hill was in here earlier. He gave his rundown of all the rule changes. I'm going to reserve too much judgment on them until I see them in play. I think as a whole, this partnership with Major League Baseball is a plus. So I don't want to look at maybe there might be one rule change I'm not necessarily enamored with, and I don't want to let that spoil what is a very exclusive partnership and something we're pretty lucky to have with Major League Baseball. But I think overall, this league is a good place to test some of this out because you have a lot of former major leaguers, and it's a high level of competition, and it's not affiliated with Major League Baseball, so there's a lot of the red tape you don't have to go through to get the changes implemented.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I'm not against the partnership we have with MLB. I think this is a great thing for the Atlantic League and our players, especially with the high level of ball that we play. But I will say, even with that, some of the rule changes they're drastic. Not necessarily always in a bad way, but it's different, and people don't necessarily like change, so everybody kind of questions it a little bit. But
baseball is a sport where it's very static to change. People are, anytime you try to change anything, and the drop third strike rule is pretty jarring. It is a pretty big change to the rules. We haven't seen it yet play out tonight. I don't know if and when we will see it play out. It is really one of those things where I wonder what player is going to kind of be the.
You got to find somebody that's pretty gutsy. I
who's
feel like
the
to make
Christopher
that
Columbus
call.
of this? Who's going to make the first trip to first base? Because we've had one pass ball that I can think of tonight, as that one's lined sharply right at Noel, who has it there to retire Ezekiel Carrera for number 3, and another scoreless frame for Joe Leinart. My goodness, what an outing for him! Tip of the cap to you, Mr. Leinart. You've pitched fantastic tonight. 3-0 lead for the Skeeters, and I guess, Doug, we don't have to go to commercial. We can keep chatting. I think that I'm losing my train of thought now, but that's one of those things where I don't know necessarily if a player will take advantage of that. There's been one time tonight that I've seen an opportunity for somebody to go and take advantage of it. They didn't even flinch.
Well, I also think it's a mental thing. You know, that's not something you're used to doing. It's not like it's ingrained in your head, okay, it's a pass ball, I need to try to go to first base. You're not ready.
Memory.
Yeah, you're not ready to do that. As soon as that ball goes by, you're still trained to, okay, step back out of the box. If there's somebody on base, maybe wave,
I totally agree. I mean, that was what I was talking about with some of our guys in the control room before the game, was that I think muscle memory is going to keep people from taking advantage of this rule, because you're not conditioned to think about running to first base unless there's a drop third strike. And even then, you get guys who forget that they can run.
Well, I guarantee you there's somebody on at least one person on each of these teams that is thinking about it, that is waiting for that chance that ball goes past and they take it.
I mean, the guy leading off the inning for the Skeeters, I'm looking at him now, Rico Noel, his game is predicated on speed.
Right.
So you can imagine that he might be thinking about it.
I'm sure there's a few of the guys as well that have no interest in the rule and don't plan on probably.
Sure. Because you're awarded a walk, so it's good for your on-base percentage. And if you're Rico Noel, a guy that makes a living stealing bases, that's kind of another gateway for you to steal a base. So I'm thinking of a former Skeeter, and I won't say anything, but Alvaro Rondon, and a guy that you could definitely see taking advantage of that rule as well. So I think it applies to a certain type of player, not necessarily every player. And now we're getting ready to get underway here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And Rico Noel, the leadoff man for the Skeeters, will lead it off. And a 3-0 lead for the Skeeters here in the second half. And last year, wins seemed to come pretty cheap. This year it's been a little different. The Skeeters enter the game 35-35 and even 500. And I hate to use the term backed in, but, you know, a loss in the last game of the first half, and they ended up clinching a playoff spot. And forgive the Skeeters, after all, they only lost 13 players to contract purchases. That's not even mentioning the guys that were on the disabled list, guys that retired, guys that, you know, retired, quote unquote, also got released. I mean, there was a lot of turnover, and Pete Incaviglia really had to work hard to keep his roster intact. That one grounded to Frias, who has to be quick with Noel running, but does get it to Ramiro in time for number one.
And part of that is now, as I'm hoping to see, is, you know, we have these guys, and, you know, hopefully we can keep this core together. Because I think the guy, I'm not saying anything bad against the guys that are still here. I love all these guys. They're great players. It's hard to have a team when you have people coming in and out of the building every single day.
It's tough to have a turnstile. I think the difference, Doug, last year was that a lot of our contract purchases were relief pitchers and bullpen pieces, starting pitching pieces. They weren't necessarily lineup position player guys, and that, to your point, you got to have some sort of continuity with guys getting into a rhythm. And
you can take some of the best players in the world, you know, take the best players in the world, put them on a team. Doesn't mean they're going to win.
I mean, the Dominican Republic World Baseball Classic team didn't win. I mean, USA went. You look at that roster for pound to pound. That's a
You got to have guys that have spent some time together and played together, and I think that's something that we're needing. You know, we've got some guys now that are playing together, getting some time.
Absolutely. I mean, last year you think about Matt Chavez, Derek Norris, Juan Silverio, Anthony Giansanti, guys that were there essentially all season long.
Yeah, very strong core.
Alvaro Rondon, Barrett Barnes. I mean, there was the list goes on. The lineup seemed to stay a little more intact.
Right.
The bullpen was kind of a free-for-all, although you still had Felipe Paulino anchoring the back end of it. And now you don't even have Felipe anymore.
Right.
As he is picked up by the Astros. So, I mean, you really do have a lot of anchors, quote unquote, that you expect to stay in place that have left. That's a tough break as Giansanti takes ball 4 there. The captain on base, 7 stolen bases for him on the year. So look out over there on first base. 1 out walk for Giansanti.
Pause. I love the ugly sweater look.
Love the ugly sweater look, and we got this in from the control room. I don't want to miss out on this. So Giansanti takes the walk. Also could be known as Jan Santa or Jan Santa Claus.
I like Jan Santa Claus.
And I like Jan Santa. I guess our fella who is running TrackMan tonight, kind of just getting it prepared, came up with Jan Santa. So shout out to that guy. I don't know your name, but from the control room, love the nickname effort. Shay, he gets me with like 20 nicknames a game. I can only go to air with about 15 of them. I mean, some of them are stretches, but he does a pretty good job for the most part. He has a few good ones for Blair Beck that I'll roll out when the time comes. 1-0 to Zach Bornstein. He is the big blow so far tonight. A 2-run homer back in the first inning. His 9th homer of the year. Skeeters leading 3-0 here in the bottom of the 5th inning over to the Ducks. 2-0 now. Fastball away. And yeah, Bornstein kind of quickly becoming one of the longest tenured guys on this team. I mean, he joined the team in late May, and he's seen a lot of guys come and go since then, and it feels like he just got here, but now he's kind of an elder statesman more or less in that clubhouse. Backdoor curveball from Simmons. Strike is called, 2-1. Bornstein, a member of the 2017 Israel World Baseball Classic team. Former minor leaguer in the Angels system, predominantly. Fastball called a strike there, 2-2 now. Bornstein on the road trip, 6 of 24. Had 2 homers, 6 RBIs, 3 runs scored, and he's followed it up with a home run tonight. A moonshot to deep right field, and no doubter had David Washington frozen in his tracks. And he took a big swing there and misses it. He wanted number 10 for sure. Comes up empty, though. Strike number 3 and out number 2 here in the 5th.
Favorite Christmas movie? Go.
Ooh. I'm a big fan of the 24-hour marathon of A Christmas Story on TN or TBS whenever it comes on Christmas. I don't know if that's my favorite movie, but it's hard to like knock that. I love the marathon. I love being able. It's that nothing.
You're not gonna watch it all year long, but you know the day you will.
Exactly. I guess, man. Outside of that, I love Elf.
Okay, that's a good one.
Elf is good. Polar Express is good. Those are up there on like the Mount Rushmores. I know you are like a Christmas. Doug, for those of you guys that don't know, is pretty much the backbone of our holiday lights. As Phipps lines it off the foot of Seth Simmons. Ramon Cabrera goes to retrieve it, but no play for him. Dennis Phipps, a base hit, extends that hitting streak to 10 games, and they're going to come check on Simmons as that one was a missile off his cleat. So while they're doing that, Doug, I mentioned you are the backbone of the Horror Holiday Lights event. He is electric. What's your electrocution count up to?
Let's not talk about it.
He's been electrocuted, let's say more than 10 times. But what's your Christmas movie? Like, give me your top 3, I guess, because I know it's probably hard for you to narrow it down to a favorite.
So I guess if we go number 3 is I would have to say probably Polar Express. That was a good one. Number 2, The Santa Claus.
So with Tim Allen.
Yep. And then number 1, the granddaddy of them all, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
That's a good one. I didn't even get that one in there, and that one almost doesn't even feel like a Christmas movie because it seems like it's so timeless that you can watch that in like July right now. Christmas in July.
I already have.
Yeah, Chevy Chase, Randy Quaid. I mean that's a classic. As Seth Simmons is going to give a few warmer pitches. I can't imagine that felt great to have a Dennis Phipps line drive slam off your foot. Then you can go into your, like, it comes down to nostalgia, like the old animated, like Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer movies you see on ABC
Charlie
every
Brown,
year. I mean, those are not necessarily like power ranking going to be in your top 5, but you always
you're still
have to
gonna
watch them.
Yeah.
So, man, hard to believe it's only July. Holiday Lights is only around the corner.
Yes, we are preparing, and it's coming up quickly. We're going to have another great display out here at Constellation Field, and I hope everybody...
How tall is the tree going to be this year?
It will still be 40 feet. It will still be 40 feet, but...
it's the tallest Christmas tree in Sugarland. Confirmed.
Confirmed. We will also...
Backdoor pick there. Ball gets away. Down into the right field corner. That's going to let Jansanti score. Phipps on the run. We'll see how far they're going to retrieve this. Regardless, a costly error from Ramon Cabrera, the catcher, who tried to backpick Dennis Phipps of all people, and Jansanti scores all the way from second base, and Phipps moves from first to third. So just like that, a 4-0 lead for the Skeeters. And if you're Wally Backman, you got to be like, are you kidding me? You just try to backpick Dennis Phipps. I mean, keep in mind, Phipps, he does have 2 stolen bases this year. He's he's not dormant over there. He will go at some points, but not a guy you think you have to backpick with a runner in front of him too. So interesting move there from Ramon Cabrera, the catcher, cost the Ducks a run, an E2, and now Martinson up. No count, takes a first pitch strike, 2 away, but Phipps on third base. Sorry to steal your thunder there, Doug. We were just getting some good Holiday Lights talk.
No, you're good. That was a great play for the Skeeters. So.
Yeah. I mean, going into the end of the first half, it seemed like that didn't happen all that much, as that one is grounded toward Frias. Backhand throw does a nice job to get it over to Ramiro in time to get Martinson, but a late lucky break for the Skeeters. An errant throw from the catcher Cabrera sails into right field, allowing Anthony Jansanti to score and making it a 4-0 Skeeters lead. We head into the 6th inning here at Constellation Field. 4-0 lead for the Skeeters.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that finding the right team for your painting project can be overwhelming. We want you to have the best experience as we help your home or business come to life. We strive to deliver on our promise of care and quality. With our professionals by your side, the process will be easy and convenient, leaving you time for what matters most, like watching the Skeeters. Visit CertaPro.com today to book your free estimate. That's CertaPro with a C, CERTA Pro.com. We do painting, you do life.
Don't miss out on daily promotions this season at Constellation Field. Come to the park on Monday for discounted margarita prices as well as free tickets for fans who present military and first responder IDs. Visit us on Wednesday and enjoy $1 hot dogs as well as discounts of White Claw hard seltzer. Come thirsty on Thursday for $2 beers and sodas. And you definitely won't want to miss out on Fireworks Fridays. Close the week out on Sunday Fun Day where we'll have pregame autographs and kids run the bases. Sugarland Skeeters, it's more than baseball. Plan your next group outing at beautiful Constellation Field. Looking to celebrate a birthday, host a large-scale event like a company party, or just looking to bring a large group to watch a baseball game? Constellation Field has you covered. We have several birthday packages as well as seating options that include our party suites and picnic plaza, as well as the field plaza to best accompany your group. Visit sugarlandskeeters.com or call us at 281-240-HITS for more info on all of our group packages.
Memorial Hermann Sugarland Hospital has been named a recipient of the highly coveted 2016 Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award, the nation's highest presidential honor for performance excellence. Memorial Hermann Sugarland was recognized for its outstanding commitment to sustainable excellence through innovation, improvement, and visionary leadership. Memorial Hermann Sugarland is the first Houston area healthcare organization to earn the prestigious Baldrige Award and only the third in Texas. The Sugarland Skeeters are proud to partner with Memorial Hermann Sugarland.
Welcome back. Christmas in July at Constellation Field. A 4-0 lead for the Skeeters. We move into the 6th inning. And it's going to be the right-hander Kevin Comer back on the mound. And he is off the disabled list. It's been a while since we've seen Kevin Comer, Doug. And last pitch on June 20th, but 1-2, a 5.48 ERA on the year and 20 appearances. There was a point in June at his 20 appearances, they led the league. And took a little stint, a little siesta, if you will, on the injured list, and now back, a big, burly, and hard-throwing right-hander. Last with the Tigers' AAA affiliate, the Toledo Mudhens, and back on the mound for the Skeeters, and fires in a ball 1-0. I mean, Comer, not only is Comer throw hard, he is by far and away the quickest worker on the Skeeters relief staff. I mean, my goodness, you could probably count about 5 seconds in between the time that he gets the ball back in his glove and is ready to pitch.
He's ready to go. He doesn't want to take any time out there.
It's up to the batter, and that batter now is TJ Rivera, who has one of the 4 hits for the Ducks. End of the night for Joe Lionheart, who was in line for the win in his first pro start. And let's get you that line on Lionheart. Little pun there. 5 innings, 4 hits, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts, and in line for the win. Joe Lionheart, tip of the cap, man. That is a heck of a start against the Liberty Division first half champion Long Island Ducks, who have had the Skeeters number these last 2 years, at least in the regular season, not in the postseason. I want to make sure that is stated firmly. But Joe Lionheart out of Oklahoma State, I guess a rookie, if you will. I don't know if we have rookies in the Atlantic League, but he's technically one of them. He had yet to make a pro appearance before joining the Skeeters, a pitcher to the bullpen, and got a spot start tonight and looked fantastic, allowing just the 4 hits in 5 innings and no runs, most importantly, and now hands it over to a Skeeters bullpen that is well rested. And TJ Rivera hammers that down the left field line, well foul, up onto the canopy there in the picnic plaza for just a long strike, still 2-2. Rivera had played with the Mets in 2016 and 17. Pretty good big league numbers, 106 games as a major leaguer. He hit 304 with 8 homers in that span. And skies out to center field. Anthony Jansanti, the captain, on the run in right center, gives way to Zach Borenstein, who gloves it there in the gap. Out number 1. The Ducks were 7-3 against the Skeeters coming into this one, and They took 2 out of 3 in mid-May when they came to town, and the Skeeters were just in Long Island for one of their last road trip of the first half, their second to last series, and in a 4-game series, Long Island took 3 out of 4. So it's been predominantly Ducks here in this series this year, but the Skeeters coming out sharp tonight, and now it's Ray Fuentes, who swings and misses at a first pitch fastball 0-1. Good vibes at the ballpark. Skeeters winning. Christmas in July. Kobe with a bat dog did a heck of a job earlier, and Fuentes fouls it back 0-2. Swats in Christmas story themed giveaway. I mean, that's doesn't get much better than that. That bobblehead, it's not really your traditional bobblehead. I guess you can call it more like a figurine because the head doesn't bobble, quote unquote. But
I triple dog dare you to give me a better night than this.
Yeah, there you go. On cue, Doug. Beautifully done. 1-2 now to Fuentes. I think that is probably the most unique bobblehead I've seen since I've gotten here.
It was a pretty good one.
And Doug just mentioned the triple dog dare you. It's themed after the scene in the Christmas Story where Flick is dared to lick the frozen flagpole and his tongue gets stuck to the pole. And Swatson is Flick in this instance and his tongue is stuck to the pole. So if you ever want to know what Swatson's tongue looks like, you should have came tonight and got your bobblehead, because otherwise now you're in the dark. Sucks to suck. 3-2. Fuentes lines that softly to Silverio, who bats it around, has it though, and fires into Beck in time for out number 2. Good recovery from one. Silverio, who tried to field the short hop, was not able to glove it cleanly, but it bounced around there and fielded it with a bare hand. And Silverio, with a strong arm, gets the speedy Fuentes for out number 2. Do you score that a 5-5-3? I don't know. You looked at me like, yeah, I don't do that. You're on your own there with that one. Yeah, I know. It was more of a joke because it technically hit Silverio twice. 5-5-3. Yeah, that joke fell flat on his face. 2 away now for LJ Mazzilli.
Great one, Paz.
I got a lot of them. I got a lot of good material stored up. As an all-star this year was Mazzilli. Came in hitting 283, and Kevin Comer's working so quickly down 0-2. I looked down to try to find a number, and I don't even need to look for stats. I'm just going to let Comer just guide the inning. He's ahead 0-2, 2 away here in the 6th, and swinging a mid strike 3. Kevin Comer, don't blink. He will finish off an inning before you have a chance to bat an eye. Down go the Ducks in order here in the 6th inning. We head to the bottom half of the frame. Skeeters lead 4-0.
Texas Farm Bureau members get free tickets to Skeeters home games every Sunday all season long. Just show proof of your membership at the ticket office to get 2 free tickets to any Sunday home game while supplies last. Visit texasfarmbureau.org/sports to learn more about this offer and other benefits associated with your membership. This offer is exclusive to Texas Farm Bureau members and is only available while supplies last. So become a member today. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsor of the Sugarland Skeeters.
Hello, Houston. Tomorrow's here. Time for an energy company that does more than just sell electricity, and that's Constellation. We offer electricity plans that include protection for your air conditioning. If something goes wrong, we'll fix it, and you pay nothing for covered parts and labor. Visit constellation.com/getmore or call 888-921-MORE to learn how all of this is included in one great electricity rate. Certain restrictions apply. Visit constellation.com or speak to a care representative for details. PUC 10014.
The Skeeter Buddies Kids Club create countless memories that will last a lifetime for kids ages 4 through 12. With 2 packages that are sure to meet your budget, the Skeeter Buddies Kids Club, sponsored by Meadow and Sugar Mill Montessori Schools, offer exclusive moments, such as batting and pitching lessons with players and front-of-the-line privileges or kids run the bases on Sunday Fun Day. For more information, visit sugarlandskeeters.com. Sugarland Skeeters, more than baseball.
What's up, dudes? Pamela Printing, the preferred printer of the Sugarland Skeeters, the name you hear most often in Fort Bend County. People are talking about quality, dependability, on time, and helpfulness in producing a great business piece for their company.
Nothing provides the flexibility to watch the Skeeters on your time like our exciting mini plans for the 2019 season. Some of our plans include a fireworks plan with tickets to all of our Friday firework games. Catch the buzz on the weekends and come away with some of our hottest giveaway items with our Saturday night plan. Enjoy the ultimate flexibility with our Pick 8 plan, giving you the chance to pick out 8 games that work best for you. Visit sugarlandskeeters.com to find out more information on all of our mini plans. Sugarland Skeeters, more than baseball.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that finding the right team for your painting project can be overwhelming. We want you to have the best experience as we help your home or business come to life. We strive to deliver on our promise of care and quality. With our professionals by your side, the process will be easy and convenient, leaving you time for what matters most, like watching the Skeeters. Visit CertaPro.com today to book your free estimate. That's CertaPro with a C, C-E-R-T-A Pro.com. We do painting, you do life.
So we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. 4-0 lead for the Skeeters. Game number 1 of the second half. That's going to do it for Seth Simmons on the mound tonight. It's going to be the new right-hander for the Ducks, Mariel Checo. Checo 1-1, a 3.60 ERA in 14 games, 1 start. 21 strikeouts, just 8 walks, and 25 innings pitched, and throws a first pitch ball to Juan Silverio. Silverio 1 for 2 tonight. One of the 3 Skeeters to head to York for the Atlantic League All-Star game. He's one of 2 Skeeters to actually appear in the game. Jarrett Mitchell did not play. Matt West did not travel to the game. Either did Daniel Gibson. But Silverio 1 for 2 with a single in the All-Star game. Now takes a strike there to make it 1-2. Or makes it 2-1 rather, apologize. Carlos Pimentel, who will start tomorrow. He threw a scoreless inning in relief as well. So 3-1 quickly to Silverio here. 4-0 lead for the Skeeters. They got a kind of gifted a run there in the bottom half of the 5th inning as Ramon Cabrera tried to backpick Dennis Phipps and then overthrew his target at first. Jay Benson Romero by a wide margin. That allowed Anthony Giansanti to score from second. And the Skeeters will gladly take that run. He had scored 3 in the first and then that run in the 5th, which just put him up 4-0. Joe Lionheart, a fantastic first start as a pro, and up the ladder goes Silverio, swings and misses at the Checo fastball. 4 strike 3, out number 1 here in the 6th. So 1 away, Ryan Jackson, the shortstop, comes to bat. He has not recorded an official at bat yet tonight. Had a sac fly in his first at bat of the first, and then walked in his second at bat in the 4th. Jackson entrenched in that shortstop role now for the Skeeters. Played sparingly each of the last 2 seasons for the Skeeters. Called it quits early last season. The year before had his contract purchased by the Washington Nationals. Shout out to Sean Hall, one of our host families and season ticket holders, listening all the way from Michigan. Getting into Skeeters baseball, that's what I like to hear. Thank you, Sean, for listening all the way out there from Big Blue Country. 2-0 now to Jackson. Takes a strike there to make it 2-1. Sean, one of our many host families, very important role played here for the Skeeters organization. Housing players, making sure they feel at home while they're here in Sugar Land. 2-1 fastball on the outside part of the plate. Called a strike and even it up at 2-2. Jackson came in hitting 277. Pair of home runs on the year. Takes inside to make it 3-2 now. He hit 333 against the Ducks coming into this one. He's really enjoyed hitting against this Long Island team, which can't be said for many of these Skeeters. The only player that came with a higher average was Blair Beck, who was hitting 400 against the Ducks coming into this one. Jackson's 2 home runs, also second on the team against Long Island. Jason Martinson's 3 lead the team, and Jackson gives that a ride deep left field. That's going to take Carrera back toward the wall, and on the run makes the play in the gap there for out number 2 as Jackson robbed of extra bases there from Carrera. Former Blue Jay runs it down in the gap for out number 2. So with 2 away, it'll be Alvaro Cordero now, over 2 so far tonight. Cordero has really done the bulk of the catching for the Skeeters over this last stretch. Started every game of the road trip, the 6-game road trip that started in Long Island and then New Britain before the end of the first half, and then gave the start tonight behind the plate. Takes ball 1-0. Coco 5 home runs on the year. Has yet to leave the yard against the Ducks. Came in hitting 130 against Long Island this year. Chops that off his leg and foul to make it 1-1. Coco over that last road trip to end the first half, 3 of 21, did score a pair of runs, drove in 3 runs. 22 RBIs on the year for him. Despite his limited playing time, that puts him up in the top 6 of the Skeeters. Played just 45 of the 70 games in that first half. Fouls that one away to stay alive, 1-2. Thinking Cordero is going to get some more regular playing time here in the second half, whether it be at first base, whether it be behind the plate. One and two now the count to Cordero. They're shifting him on the infield to hit it to the right side. He smacks that to left field. Carrera on the run again makes a nice play. They're down by his knees to snag the line drive from Cordero. Ezekiel Carrera with a few nice plays there to end the 6th inning. Skeeters down in order. They do lead, though, 4-0 over the Ducks as we head into the 7th inning here at Constellation Field.
Texas Farm Bureau members get free tickets to Skeeters home games every Sunday all season long. Just show proof of your membership at the ticket office to get 2 free tickets to any Sunday home game while supplies last. Visit texasfarmbureau.org/sports to learn more about this offer and other benefits associated with your membership. This offer is exclusive to Texas Farm Bureau members and is only available while supplies last. So become a member today. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsor of the Sugarland Skeeters.
Hello, Houston. Tomorrow's here. Time for an energy company that does more than just sell electricity, and that's Constellation. We offer electricity plans that include
first responder IDs. Visit us on Wednesday and enjoy $1 hot dogs as well as discounts of White Claw Hard Seltzer. Come thirsty on Thursday for $2 beers and sodas. And you definitely won't want to miss out on Fireworks Fridays. Close the week out on Sunday Fun Day where we'll have pregame autographs and kids run the bases. Sugarland Skeeters, it's more than baseball.
All right, we head to the 7th inning. New pitcher on the mound, Daniel Schlereth in relief for the Skeeters. Quickly, some numbers on Mr. Schlereth. 1-0, 3.27 ERA. Making his 14th appearance of the year. Has struck out 17 batters in 11 innings pitched. Tyler Stam, our GM. What do you think about that ratio? That's a pretty good ratio.
It's pretty good.
It's the kind of ratio you look for from your relief pitching. So Daniel Schlereth, the former Long Island Duck, actually, has joined the champions here in Sugarland. Wise move.
Wonder if his dad's here tonight. Who knows?
I can't even say on the air. I won't do it. 1-0 to Ramiro. We'll have to have a conversation off air.
Okay.
So the 73 of you listening, I'm sorry.
I'll take that as a yes.
Yeah, you good. So when Ramiro gives that a ride deep left field on the run, goes the left fielder Martinson. That one clanks off the base of the wall and takes him all the way back into left field. Ramiro strides into second with a leadoff double. First extra base hit of the night for the Ducks. And thankfully, that one looked like it may have had home run written off the bat there, but
it did.
Romero, who was an all-star with the Bees, was traded to the Ducks late in the second half on second base with a double.
Do you think it's possible that tonight the air's kind of thick, that it just kind of hung fat up in the air?
It's quite possible, although I don't think there's any humidity in the world that can stop Zach Bornstein's home run from leaving the yard tonight.
That was a bomb.
Yes, it was. You don't see a lot of no-doubt home runs to right field here, and that one fit that bill for sure.
Seeing a lot of baseball, there's not many home runs where I go, whoa. But for Bornstein's home run, I went, whoa.
I mean, I think even David Washington in right field, who's hit balls in that territory, who's up to bat now, was probably like, whoa. You'd make David Washington go, whoa. You've hit a ball pretty far. 0-1 to Wash, who has flown out and struck out so far tonight. Tyler, are you surprised we haven't really seen any of the rule changes come into play yet so far tonight?
Not really. I think they're still kind of fresh to everybody, and we'll see. I mean, have there been any wild pitches? I've been running around quite a bit.
There was one play, and I'm drawing a blank on the inning. It was Ramon Cabrera at bat, so I'm going to guess it was back in the fifth inning.
So there was like one good, solid opportunity to steal first?
There was a pass ball, and it was early in the counter, and I thought, I guess that was the first time that a guy, and he did not flinch. I mean, Cabrera is not necessarily a guy that you think would take advantage of that rule, per se, although he's a catcher, so it's probably in his mind.
Sure. They'll just have to become accustomed to it. I mean, these guys have been playing baseball their entire lives, not being able to steal first, and now it's their first game ever with that rule in play. It's just going to take them a second.
If Billy Hamilton ever comes to the Atlantic League, he would probably have himself a pretty high on-base percentage.
Did they come to a determination on how they're scoring that?
It's a walk.
Okay, cool.
And if you're thrown out, it's a strikeout. So you are playing with fire a bit.
Interesting.
But if you're a guy like, let's say, Billy Hamilton or, I don't know, Alvaro Rondon, a guy that, has the wheels to reach first base, Rico Noel.
Definitely a rule that rewards speed.
It's tough to, but you got guys like Anthony Jansanti and maybe even Jared Mitchell who have the speed, but also some power. So do you risk them kind of mortgaging that power to take a base, or even have the mindset of taking a base? I think a lot of us, the mindset is putting it in your brain that I'm going to go if I get a pass ball. Like, it's all about your approach. I mean, guys will tell you that. So if your approach is, I'm going to leave when I get a pass ball, does that affect your power? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's going to become situational. Like right now with the guy on second, I don't know that you take off especially with David Washington, the player who has
down
18 homers on the. Yeah, right. You probably don't take off.
Swinging for the fences. Second in the league in home runs. That's a good point, Tyler. I think it's going to come down to a situational thing, and Washington jammed right there with Daniel Schler having all kinds of fits there, former teammates, and Schler picks up the strikeout there, as they call that one the sword there, when you get the little half swing from Washington. Strikeout number 1 for Schler tonight, number 18 on the year. Bring up Daniel Fields. Now I got another lefty in here, and so one thing I noticed with Inky that he really actually utilized this a lot toward the end of the first half in that last homestand, or last road trip I should say, is he really utilized the bringing in a guy for the last out of an inning so that he doesn't have to face 3 batters to kind of expand on that bullpen. And I don't think he's going to use it now because you got a switch hitter on deck, so you're not able to flip him around. I mean, there's not going to be any advantage lefty-righty, righty-lefty, but it was interesting. Almost every game you saw pitchers throwing a third of an inning. He used Robbie Ross a lot in that capacity as a lefty coming in to maybe just face one guy. And we'll see if that comes into play tonight. But 0-1 now, the count to Fields. That one almost hits him. Thanks, Fields dance out of the way. 1-1 now.
They did just enough on the road to get that first half victory.
Yeah, I mean,
we will take it.
That's the beauty of the first half. It doesn't matter how pretty it was that you were in the playoffs. Got
it done.
You get a ticket to the dance, and no matter how good or bad the second half goes, hoping it's obviously a pretty victorious second half. I mean, the Skeeters clinched both the first and second half last year, but you get a chance to just catch your breath a little bit.
That's what you'd think. I mean, I remember I asked Pete last year after we had clinched the first half in 2018. I said, hey, second half doesn't matter for you, right? I mean, take it easy. You don't got to stress as much about players being hurt, and you don't have enough pitchers, blah, blah, blah. Guys getting signed. And he said, no, I want to win.
I mean,
he didn't care. He wants to win every game.
I think especially having these guys in town to lead things off in the second half, that might set the tone. Because
sure.
I mean, both these teams, Ducks, they clinched the Liberty division in the first half. This game is essentially meaningless as far as the playoffs go.
Right.
But
they want to win.
Try telling that to Wally Backman and Pete Cavilli that this game is meaningless.
Yeah, they want to beat each other.
Good luck telling them that. Fastball away. Schlereth just misses there. 3-2 now.
Looked pretty good.
It looked good. Good spot on the outside edge. Daniel, the son of Mark, who probably is in attendance tonight. I mean, yeah, I can't divulge too much. I think he is in attendance. Full count pitch, and Schlereth gets Fuels to swing out in front of the breaking ball there. Strikeout number 2 of the inning, 2 away. Man, Schlereth has got that hook working this year, and that's really been the reason he's strikeout to innings ratio is just kind of ridiculous. He came in with 11 strikeouts, or 17 strikeouts in 11 innings pitched, and has 2 already this inning. Now it's Ramon Cabrera who has to fend off Schlereth and the donut chant here with 2 away. Thank you to all of you listening on YouTube right now, out on Mixler as well, for those of you that ventured there to SugarlandSkeeters.com. 4-0 lead for the Skeeters over the Ducks, 2 away here in the 7th. And Cabrera, first pitch swinging, grounds out to Noel, who boots it off to his right into the shallow right field, but that's going to hold. The runner at third, that's Ramiro. So that one could have got a little more uglier. Could have had a runner there move to home, but Ramiro holds that third. Good recovery by Noel, and likely going to be scored. Quickly hung with E4 there. So the inning continues. Runners on first and third, 2 away. It's Vladimir Frias. One of the now 5 hits for Long Island. 4 of which have been singles, though. Been keeping them to pretty easy going here. 2 away now here in the 7th. First pitch to Frias. Good stop by Albert Cordero. Keeps it in front. A ball, though, 1-0.
Okay, so right now there's a wild pitch. He can't take off, right? Or he can. But the runner at first would have to advance too?
Me
Is
and
that
Chris,
right?
we were trying to figure that out. I believe it's a force play at first. So, yeah, you wouldn't want to go. The runner at second would have to. You know what? It's a little bit up to me.
Because it technically would be a double steal, right? Maybe? I don't know.
I do not know. Check swing, though, from Frias. That one's taken. Called a ball there. It makes it 2-0 now. It's that is a good question. We actually were asked that question on our YouTube feed. We're asked that question as well as what happens to the ball to the umpire, because the umpire is technically not in play, so it was a dead ball, but Chris was fairly certain that because that ball is considered a live ball, the umpire is also live, so anything off the umpire is considered to be in play, kind of like if a ball hit an umpire at second base, you still play it. It's not a dead ball. Frias swings and misses there through the fastball.
I think we're just going to figure everything out as we go.
Yeah, and that's kind of the patience that you're going to need, because the umpires too, this is something that was sprung on them fairly recently. The players as well, managers. I mean, this is not something that they were planning for. As that one's grounded to Noel, again a chance to redeem himself. He fields it cleanly. Elects to go to first base to blare it back. Has that for out number 3, and Daniel Schlereth works the score to the 7th inning. Time for stretch time here at Constellation Field. Skeeters lead 4-0.
Hello, Houston. Tomorrow's here. Time for an energy company that does more than just sell electricity, and that's Constellation. We offer electricity plans that include protection for your air conditioning. If something goes wrong, we'll fix it, and you pay nothing for covered parts and labor. Visit constellation.com/getmore or call 888-921-MORE to learn how all of this is included in one great electricity rate. Certain restrictions apply. Visit constellation.com or speak to a care representative for details. PUC 10014.
The Skeeter Buddies Kids Club create countless memories that will last a lifetime for kids ages 4 through 12. With 2 packages that are sure to meet your budget, the Skeeter Buddies Kids Club, sponsored by Meadow and Sugar Mill Montessori Schools, offer exclusive moments, such as batting and pitching lessons with players and front-of-the-line privileges or kids run the bases on Sunday Fun Day. For more information, visit SugarlandSkeeters.com. Sugarland Skeeters, more than baseball.
What's up, dudes? Pamela Printing, the preferred printer of the Sugarland Skeeters, the name you hear most often in Fort Bend County. And people are talking about quality, dependability, on time, and helpfulness in producing a great business piece for their company.
Nothing provides the flexibility to watch the Skeeters on your time like our exciting mini plans for the 2019 season. Some of our plans include a fireworks plan with tickets to all of our Friday firework games. Catch the buzz on the weekends and come away with some of our hottest giveaway items with our Saturday night plan. Enjoy the ultimate flexibility with our Pick 8 plan, giving you the chance to pick out 8 games that work best for you. Visit SugarlandSkeeters.com to find out more information on all of our mini plans. Sugarland Skeeters, more than baseball.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that finding the right team for your painting project can be overwhelming. We want you to have the best experience as we help your home or business come to life. We strive to deliver on our promise of care and quality. With our professionals by your side, the process will be easy and convenient, leaving you time for what matters most, like watching the Skeeters. Visit CertaPro.com today to book your free estimate. That's CertaPro with a C, C-E-R-T-A Pro.com. We do painting, you do life.
Don't miss out on daily promotions this season at Constellation Field. Come to the park on Monday for discounted margarita prices as well as free tickets for fans who present military and first responder IDs. Visit us on Wednesday and enjoy $1 hot dogs as well as discounts on White Claw hard seltzer. Come thirsty on Thursday for $2 beers and sodas. And you definitely won't want to miss out on Fireworks Fridays. Close the week out on Sunday Fun Day where we'll have pregame autographs and kids run the bases. Sugarland Skeeters, it's more than baseball. Plan your next group outing at beautiful Constellation Field. Looking to celebrate a birthday, host a large-scale event like a company party, or just looking to bring a large group to watch a baseball game? Constellation Field has you covered. We have several birthday packages as well as seating options that include our party suites and picnic plaza, as well as the field plaza to best accompany your group. Visit SugarlandSkeeters.com or call us at 281-240-HITS for more info on all of our group packages.
Memorial Hermann Sugarland Hospital has been named a recipient of the highly coveted 2016 Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award, the nation's highest presidential honor for performance excellence. Memorial Hermann Sugarland was recognized for its outstanding commitment to sustainable excellence through innovation, improvement, and visionary leadership. Memorial Hermann Sugarland is the first Houston area healthcare organization to earn the prestigious Baldrige.
All right, Blair Beck leading it off here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Mariel Checo is still on the mound for the Ducks, back out for another inning of relief. 2-0 now to Becky. Mariel Checo set the Skeeters down in order in the 6th inning. 4-0 lead for the Skeeters. It's been all Skeeters tonight. Joe Lionheart, a great start. 5 scoreless innings and strike 1 there to Beck, 2-1. And then 3 runs in the first for the Skeeters, courtesy mostly of a Zach Bornstein 2-run homer and a sac fly from Ryan Jackson, then a run in the 5th. Puts us where we're at now, 4-0 lead. That one gets away from Cabrera and Checo, and credit to Cabrera. He was ready to throw there. Look at that, folks. There's the new rules in play. That one got away from Cabrera. It was a 2-1 count. And he wisely, as most catchers would not think to go back and retrieve that, he immediately went to go back and grab that. But the chance that Blair Beck could advance to first if he wished. Beck did not get out of the box, though. Interesting there. And 3-1, that one low and in for a ball. So Beck reaches with a leadoff walk aboard for the first time tonight. That resets the order now with Rico Noel, the speedster, in his Skeeters debut, coming to bat is 0 for 3 so far tonight. Couple of Ks grounded out as well, and now wondering maybe if we'll see him try to bunt over Beck at first base. 4-0 lead for the Skeeters. They've had 5 shutouts on the year. Noel not scoring a bunt there. Takes inside from Checo 1-0. Noel, a former New York Yankee, former Padres draft pick, but most recently last year with the Barnstormers at 305, stole 53 bases, was second in the Atlantic League only to his teammate Darian Sanford, who stole 80-plus bases. As the Barnstormers ran away with the league stolen base title last year, 2-0. Hard to think the Skeeters won't run away with it this year. They're already leading the league as a team with 79 stolen bases. Somerset, the next closest at 66. Jared Mitchell second with 22 stolen bases. But now you add Rico Noel to the flame, and I got to imagine Skeeters going to end up leading that lead. That one grounded to the right side. Mazzilli over to Frias for 1. Gets back in time. They had absolutely no chance to get Noel on the return. So out number 1. Here in the 7th inning on the fielder's choice there. Now you get the speedster Noel, though, on on base for the first time as a Skeeter, and gotta imagine he's on the move at some point in this at bat. So it'll be the captain, Anthony Jansanti, 1 for 2. Singled and came around to score on the Zach Bornstein home run back in the first, and Noel with a good-sized lead. Checo steps off. We'll look him back there. First pitch to Jansanti. That one misses well inside. 1-0. Skeeters came in hitting .250 against Checo on the year. Jansanti himself 0 for 2. Good lead over there for Noel. Not on the move, though, and Jansanti takes low and away for a ball 2-0. And this is where the speed of Rico Noel can wreak havoc, even if he doesn't steal a base here. You can tell that Checo is spending a little extra time thinking about him over there. And that could work in the favor of Jansanti. You groove a fastball to him. He's got 4 homers on the year. He had a career-high 17 last season with the Skeeters. And Checo steps off, looks Noel back, and you can just tell Noel is embedded himself deep inside the head of Checo here. Little cat and mouse game going on with Jansanti at the plate. 1 down here in the 7th, 4-0 Skeeters lead. 2-0, and once again, Checo gonna step off. Noel retreats back to the base, no throw. Masterful job here by Rico Noel to wreak some havoc on the mind, at least, of Mario Checo here. 2-0 pitch. Noel stays put. That one drops in for a strike. The breaking ball in there, 2-1. And even as Checo's getting the ball back from Cabrera, the catcher, he's looking over to Noel just to make sure he's still there. To Melissa Mincy, who's asking where he can get live stats for this game. And 2-1 pitch from Jansanti is outside 3-1. Visit atlanticleague.com/stats, and you'll see a page with all of the live scores for all of the league's games. Click on the live score associated with the Skeeters and the Ducks, and you will get everything you need right there. Hopefully I got enough information for you there. atlanticleague.com/stats is where you can watch live scoring of all the league's games. 3-1 count now to Jansanti. 1 away here in the 7th. Good size lead for Noel is on the run. Jansanti swings away, pops it up toward Rivera there. Foul side on the third base line. No, Rivera leans over the railing there, and that one's out of play just by a few feet near the Ducks dugout. Got to make it a full count now. Wonder if Noel's still on the move here. Jansanti had an even .250 on the road trip. 6 games, 6 for 24. Scored a pair of runs, drove in a run. He has 26 ribbies on the year. He's riding a modest 4-game hitting streak now after the hit in the first inning today. So Noel at first still. The speedster was on the move the last pitch. We'll see if he goes on the full count offer, and he does. The full count pitch to Jansanti is well upstairs for a ball. So no need for Noel to slide in there. Jansanti trots over to first base. So runners on first and second now, and in steps the formidable power bat of Zach Bornstein. The Bornstein Bear has already left the yard tonight once. A prodigious 2-run homer back in the first inning that may have left the Sugar Land city lines. I'm not quite sure yet. Didn't see it land. Might be bouncing around on Highway 90 back there. A massive 2-run homer back in the first inning to kickstart the second half. Skeeters leading 4-0 still. First pitch to Bornstein, a backdoor breaking ball is called a strike there, 0-1. Bornstein had 2 home runs on the road trip. 1 coming in New Britain, 1 coming on Long Island. Last year with AAA Iowa, the Cubs affiliate, he had 25 home runs in 133 games. He was a 23rd round pick by the Angels in 2011. out of Eastern Illinois University. And I think Eastern Illinois, there's one NFL player that comes to mind, and Texas football fans probably know that name. That's Tony Romo out of Eastern Illinois. Pretty sure that's the only Eastern Illinois alumni I know outside of now Zach Bornstein, too. Last game before the break, Bornstein was over 3, drove in a row with the sack fly on that Sunday in New Britain. Skeeters lost that day. They still clinched the first half despite the loss. Got the pop champagne before they headed to their separate ways for the All-Star break out there in New Britain, Connecticut. 1-2 now to Bornstein. Runners on first and second with 1 away, and the pitch swung on a miss by Bornstein. Strike 3. Fastball away from Checo has him swinging and missing. Out number 2. So Dennis Phipps coming to bat now with runners in scoring position and see if he can add a little insurance here for the Skeeters. Phipps extended his hitting streak to 9 games earlier in this one. 1 for 2 with a walk and a single. Runners on first and second. First pitch to him, he takes that big trademark Dennis Phipps swing and misses 0-1. Phipps leads the Skeeters, 14 home runs, tied for 3rd in the Atlantic League with Richie Schaefer of High Point. Only David Washington, the Ducks right fielder tonight, and Telvin Nash of the Revolution have more home runs this year. That one's taken for a ball 1-1. Phipps, a former major leaguer with the Cincinnati Reds. 1 home run to his credit at the big league level. Home run came against Dodgers right-hander Ronald Belisario. And he chops that one to Rivera at third base right at him and touches the bag with ease there for out number 3. So the Skeeters get a few runners on, no runs in though. They do lead 4-0. We head to the 8th inning here at Constellation Field. Game number 1 of a 6-game series between the Skeeters and the Long Island Ducks.
Texas Farm Bureau members get free tickets to Skeeters home games every Sunday all season long. Just show proof of your membership at the ticket office to get 2 free tickets to any Sunday home game while supplies last. Visit texasfarmbureau.org/sports to learn more about this offer and other benefits associated with your membership. This offer is exclusive to Texas Farm Bureau members and is only available while supplies last. So become a member today. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsor of the Sugarland Skeeters.
Hello, Houston. Tomorrow's here. Time for an energy company that does more than just sell electricity, and that's Constellation. We offer electricity plans that include protection for your air conditioning. If something goes wrong, we'll fix it, and you pay nothing for covered parts and labor. Visit constellation.com/getmore or call 888-921-MORE to learn how all of this is included in one great electricity rate. Certain restrictions apply. Visit constellation.com or speak to a care representative for details. PUC 10014.
The Skeeter Buddies Kids Club create countless memories that will last a lifetime for kids ages 4 through 12. With 2 packages that are sure to meet your budget, the Skeeter Buddies Kids Club, sponsored by Meadow and Sugar Mill Montessori Schools, offer exclusive moments, such as batting and pitching lessons with players and front-of-the-line privileges or kids run the bases on Sunday Fun Day. For more information, visit SugarlandSkeeters.com. Sugarland Skeeters, more than baseball.
What's up, dudes? Pamela Printing, the preferred printer of the Sugarland Skeeters, the name you hear most often in Fort Bend County. People are talking about quality, dependability, on time, and helpfulness in producing a great business piece for their company.
Nothing provides the flexibility to watch the Skeeters on your time like our exciting mini plans for the 2019 season. Some of our plans include a fireworks plan with tickets to all of our Friday firework games. Catch the buzz on the weekends and come away with some of our hottest giveaway items with our Saturday night plan. Enjoy the ultimate flexibility with our Pick 8 plan, giving you the chance to pick out 8 games that work best for you. Visit SugarlandSkeeters.com to find out more information on all of our mini plans. Sugarland Skeeters, more than baseball.
At 41 years old, he may just be the best reliever in the Atlantic League right now. That's the right-hander Ricardo Gomez coming on in relief here in the 8th inning to try and preserve this 4-0 lead for the Skeeters. Numbers on Gomez are impressive. No record, a 1.46 ERA. Making appearance number 10 on the year. The oldest player on the Skeeters roster, although not the oldest player active tonight between these two teams. That goes to Lou Ford. who at the ripe age of 43 is still chugging along there as a hitting coach and a outfielder, I guess, is what he's listed as. He flirted with 300 last year, was an all-star for the Ducks. I mean, he had a very good season with Long Island at age 42, or age 41, now 42, so just a year older than Gomez. 2-0 now as he gets Ezekiel Carrera, the former outfielder for the Toronto Blue Jays. Last appeared in the majors in 2017 with the Blue Jays. 2-0 pitch, fouled back, left side, 2-1. Carrera had a pretty good year in 2017 with the Blue Jays, a career year, a career high 8 homers, 20 RBIs, hit .282 with a career best .356 on base percentage. Originally began his major league career as that one's fouled off the mask of Albert Cordero, who immediately kind of hunches over. That one's definitely rattled the cage a little bit. Carrera began his career in the majors in 2011 with the Indians. As now Max Mahaffey and Pete Cavilla out to check on Cordero, as that one got him square in the mask and certainly looked to rattle him just a bit. This is a good effort just to give him a few extra seconds here to kind of collect himself, and he looks to be okay. Everyone's laughing down there. But good on Max and Pete to kind of just let him get a second to collect himself. Good job by Chris Cervantes, his home plate umpire, too, who went out to kind of bide some time. But everyone doing a nice job letting Coco get some much-needed chance to catch up there. Two of Carrera's home runs in the majors, which he's the only player that he took deep twice, came off of Francis Martis, so the Astros right-hander. Carrera had some good luck off him. 2 home runs in his career. So full count from Gomez to Carrera. That one's fouled straight back off the net. Keeps it full here. This is the first meeting between Carrera and the Skeeters this year. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He's flown out, lined out to second base, and also grounded out to second base. He is the leadoff man tonight for the Ducks. Once again, the full count pitch. Fastball misses just a bit away there as Gomez issues a leadoff walk to Carrera here in the 8th inning. 4-0 lead for the Skeeters. Joe Lionheart, cannot state it enough, did a fantastic job. Starting pitching had really let the Skeeters down, and it had been a plus early on in the year, but that had let the Skeeters down toward the end of the first half. And tonight, Joe Lionheart, 5 scoreless and a spot start, allowed just 4 hits, struck out 3, did not allow a walk, and has set up a great effort from the bullpen so far. Kevin Comer and Daniel Schlereth each with scoreless innings, and Gomez with a nasty slider there. In for a strike to TJ Rivera. And Gomez has been a good addition here. Joined the team in late June. Was with the Revolution last year, but 15 strikeouts in 12 1/3 innings so far this year. Just 5 walks and another slider there. I think it's like a frisbee from Gomez, 0-2. Carrera aboard first there with the leadoff walk. TJ Rivera, the former New York Met infielder, quickly staring down an 0-2 count here. Rivera, a native of Bronx, New York. Played his college ball at Troy University in Alabama. He was a 4-time All-Star in the minor leagues. All a mid-season All-Star there at the affiliated level. All in the Mets system as well, and he was a 3-time minorleaguebaseball.com organizational All-Star with the Mets. A very talented player in the Mets system, and he hit .304 in 106 big league games. Some injuries kind of derailed his career just a bit, so now with Long Island, the 1-2 pitch grounds that to Jackson. Let's see if they can get 2. They go to Noel for 1. Noel over to player back in time for out number 2 there. 6-4-3 double play. Nicely done by the Skeeters there. Good churn by Jackson and Noel. That sounds like that could be a Christmas band duo right there. Jackson and Noel here on Christmas in July with a good churn, and just like that, 2 away here in the top of the 8th. kind of peeling the curtain back a little bit here with being able to be at the ballpark every day. Jackson and Noel were the only 2 guys here on Wednesday before the team had arrived today, and that one gets away from from Cordero and Fuentes, the speedster. Kind of looks like Cordero like, you think I'm really going to go? He could if he wanted to, based off the new rules in the Atlantic League. So credit Albert Cordero for at least being wary of the fact that Fuentes, who easily would have advanced to first there. Kind of interesting to see that dynamic there. But Fuentes elects to stay in the batter's box. A 1-0 count now. Pitch from Gomez is the fastball away. That is called a strike to even it up at 1-1. So now that's the 3rd time tonight that I can recall that new rule with the drop third strike and being extended to entire at bats has at least given itself a chance to come into play. Whew. That has to be backdoor slider there from Gomez, just a little bit outside, 2-1. But all 3 times the batters have not even as much motion toward first base, giving it a thought. Fuentes right there. He certainly had a moment that he could have easily taken first. 2-2 now as he swings through a breaking ball to even it up. 4-0 lead for the Skeeters here in the top of the 8th inning. The leadoff walk from Ezekiel Carrera was expelled by a 6-4-3 double play off the bat of TJ Rivera, and now that one's grounded lightly down the third base line. That one's going to stay foul, and Juan Silverio wisely letting that one almost come back into fair territory, but it dies just down the line. Where Fuentes did not get out of the batter's box there, so Silverio kind of wisely saying, hey, well, I'm going to see if this ball comes fair and I'll throw you out. But that one stayed just about I'd say about a half-foot foul. Heads up play by Silverio, who's playing off the line here with the lefty Fuentes up. He's shaded towards shortstop. 2-2 from Gomez. That one lofted lightly into shallow center field. That's going to be over the head of Jackson and into left field for a base hit. Ray Fuentes, not just his first hit of the night. Hit number 6 of the night for the Ducks. They've out-hit the Skeeters now 6-4, but 5 of their hits have been singles. And the Skeeters, one of their 4 hits was a 2-run homer from Zach Borenstein. Also a costly error from Ramon Cabrera back in the 5th inning, trying to backpick Dennis Phipps, which led to a run. And you heard me right, he tried to backpick Dennis Phipps, Skeeters slugger, who not known for stealing bases, and there was a runner in front of him, Anthony Jansanti, who scored from second on the errant throw. So that brings up LJ Mazzilli, an all-star for the Ducks this year, takes up and in for a ball, 1-0. Mazzilli in his first year with the Ducks, swings and misses. Had a curveball there to make it 1-1. Mazzilli spent 6 years in the Mets farm system from 2013 to 2018, and then was with the Yankees in 2018 as well. He peaked at AAA with both teams. 1-1. That one taken for a ball outside, makes it a 2-1 count. So he came up in the minor leagues with TJ Rivera. He grounded to a double play earlier this inning. 2-1 the count now to LJ Mazzilli, the son of Lee Mazzilli, former major leaguer, swings and misses there to make it a 2-2 count. Lee Mazzilli, a 14-year MLB veteran. LJ selected by the Mets in the 4th round of the 2013 draft out of UConn. He's down 2-2 here, runner on first, 2 away here in the 8th inning. 4-0 Skeeters lead. On the move goes the runner Fuentes, but a check swing from Mazzilli. Did he go? They appeal, and he did not, and that one almost looked like it might have been a strike, but it's going to make it a full count now. Keep in mind, that's also one of the new rules is check swing rulings are supposed to be more batter-friendly now, so that one didn't look like it was, even without that new rule, would have been a strike, but certainly with the new rule, there was no chance that one was going to be called a strike swinging, so that makes it full here, 3-2. 2 away, the offering from Gomez. Slider low and away, called a ball. And that's going to be a walk there for LJ Mazzilli. And he fills up that open base there at first. So 2 away, runners at first and second now here in the 8th inning. So with 2 away, it'll be Dave Benson Romero. Tying run still only on deck circle here. Romero, the only extra base hit tonight for the Ducks, a double that came back in the 7th inning. It's 1 for 3. First pitch from Gomez is blown away for a ball, 1-0. Romero, 1 home run with the Ducks, 8 RBIs in his limited time. Been with the Bees for much of the last 2 seasons. Fouls that one back to make it a 1-1 count. Gomez last year with the York Revolution had a fantastic year. Was 3-1, a 3.77 ERA, 2 saves, and had that strikeout pitch working last year, much like this year. He struck out 62 batters in 43 innings in 2018 with the Revs. 1-1 now. The count to Ramiro. Fastball inside has him tied up there. Nice pitch from Gomez up and in. Makes it a 1-2 count. So 1-2, 2 down. Runners on first and second here in the top of the 8th inning. 4-0 lead for the Skeeters as it's game number 1 of the second half. Both of these teams have already locked in playoff spots, with the Ducks winning the Liberty division in the first half and the Skeeters winning the Freedom division. It's Christmas in July. Hence the Christmas sweater-themed uniforms. The 1-2, Ramiro skies it to left field. In comes the left fielder Martinson. He has it easily for out number 3. So another scoreless inning from this Skeeters bullpen, this time from Ricardo Gomez. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Skeeters leading the Ducks 4-0.
Hello, Houston. Tomorrow's here. Time for an energy company that does more than just sell electricity, and that's Constellation. We offer electricity plans that include protection for your air conditioning. If something goes wrong, we'll fix it, and you pay nothing for covered parts and labor. Visit constellation.com/getmore or call 888-921-MORE to learn how all of this is included in one great electricity rate. Certain restrictions apply. Visit constellation.com or speak to a care representative for details. PUC 10014.
The Skeeter Buddies Kids Club create countless memories that will last a lifetime for kids ages 4 through 12. With 2 packages that are sure to meet your budget, the Skeeter Buddies Kids Club, sponsored by Meadow and Sugar Mill Montessori Schools, offer exclusive moments, such as batting and pitching lessons with players and front-of-the-line privileges or kids run the bases on Sunday fun day. For more information, visit sugarlandskeeters.com. Sugarland Skeeters, more than baseball.
What's up, dudes? Pamela Printing, the preferred printer of the Sugarland Skeeters, the name you hear most often in Fort Bend County. People are talking about quality, dependability, on time, and helpfulness in producing a great business piece for their company.
Nothing provides the flexibility to watch the Skeeters on your time like our exciting mini plans for the 2019 season. Some of our plans include a fireworks plan with tickets to all of our Friday firework games. Catch the buzz on the weekends and come away with some of our hottest giveaway items with our Saturday night plan. Enjoy the ultimate flexibility with our Pick 8 plan, giving you the chance to pick out 8 games that work best for you. Visit sugarlandskeeters.com to find out more information on all of our mini plans. Sugarland Skeeters, more than baseball.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that finding the right team for your painting project can be overwhelming. We want you to have the best experience as we help your home or business come to life. We strive to deliver on our promise of care and quality. With our professionals by your side, the process will be easy and convenient, leaving you time for what matters most, like watching the Skeeters. Visit CertaPro.com today to book your free estimate. That's CertaPro with a C, C-E-R-T-A Pro.com. We do painting, you do life.
And we head to the 8th inning. Skeeters with a 4-0 lead and a special guest in the booth. He's the nightmare you see at night. He's the shadow lurking in the darkness. He is the man who does our taxes. It is Greg Hodges, Rally Greg, of fame from the Bridgeport Bluefish. Gregory.
How's it going, Posse?
How we doing, man?
Doing great. First time all year in the booth. I had to start the second half off right?
We've done a good job. A 4-0 lead so far. And you're in the booth now, so that means Jason Martinson, who's leading off, probably due to hit like a 500-foot home run.
Yeah, just absolute moonshot right
Swings and misses there, 0-1. Greg, from accounting, as we call him here, also runs our team store, does a whole bunch here, but I think most famously known around the Atlantic League as Rally Greg from the Bridgeport Bluefish.
Yeah, hopefully good old New Britain's radio broadcaster Mike Moore is listening in, because he and I used to do some, we had some fun times in Bridgeport when we were together back there.
Mike Moore, is Mike Moore also the guy who does the documentaries?
No, that's Michael Moore.
So
it's a little,
it's
a little
they're a little different there.
The spelling's a little different. Yeah,
it's a little off there.
You are right. Yeah, but Mikey Moore is a true personality in the Atlantic League.
Yeah, no, he's a friend of the program for sure. As Martinson swings through that one, 1-2. So Greg, first game of the second half, got you out of your office, which is that's a rarity.
I know. Hey, I listened to pretty much every second of your broadcast.
I'm sorry about that.
No, I mean, but I'm just never joined in, so this is exciting.
This is good stuff. You got a good view of what's going on here. Looks like we got a new pitcher for the Ducks too. Is scramble to align myself here. That's Vin Mazzaro. Vin Mazzaro, former major leaguer. Greg, you probably heard that name before, right? He's been around the league for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to see one of these pass balls go by so we can just
there have been a few.
Yeah.
Last inning there was one, Ray Fuentes washed it, and Coco, it was like a 1-1 count. You're like, why is he going to run back to get the pass ball? You're like, oh, it all clicks, you know. And Fuentes kind of looked at him like, kind of smirked, like, you really think I'm going to try that?
Hey, someone's got to be the first, right?
There is. Someone will break the ground here on this new rule, and Fuentes kind of seems like the guy who would do it. He's fast. I mean, that's the guy you want on base here when you're trailing.
Exactly.
Full count pitch to Martinson. He gives it a ride to deep left field. Rally Greg! Jason Martinson leaves the yard to left field, and Rally Greg lives. Oh, my goodness.
There it is. Oh. Hey, we were calling the moonshot.
Oh. Greg steps in the booth, and Jay Mart carts around the bases. Oh, that was beautiful. Right on cue. the first at bat, Rally Greg. Like, absolutely on cue right there. A bomb like clockwork. Oh my God, that's crazy, man.
See, I gotta reserve my appearances. That's what I always felt like. I gotta reserve them for like the opportunities that we need. And right now, to start the second half, to beat the Long Island Ducks, this is a good opportunity.
This is you picked your move wisely there at Rally Greg. It's good to know the legend still lives. He is alive and well as Greg Hodges steps in the booth and Jason Martinson leaves the yard. His 11th home run of the year. That puts the Skeeters up 5-0 here in the 8th inning.
And that was a charge too.
That was somewhere a butterfly just got its wings.
That almost was in the basketball hoop out there.
That was a bomb, yeah. Only his third home run of his 11 this year at Constellation Field, and somewhere Mikey Moore out in New Britain. His ears are buzzing. Smiles on his face knowing that the Bridgeport icon, Rally Greg Hodges, his magic still lives.
I'm definitely texting him after this for sure. I gotta give him a shout out.
You can't make that up. You haven't come in the booth all year long. The very first batter that you come in the booth for hits a solo home run.
That's right.
I mean, that's the proof's in the pudding. I don't even need to experience on that. And there's a pass ball, Greg. You wanted him to move. Saverio stays put. He's not taking advantage of the pass ball rule just yet. It looks like he's kind of joking around with the guys in the dugout.
Yeah. He looked back. The ball came right back to the backstop, and I'm pointing to first base. He's shaking his head. No.
So I guess there was a meeting. I know they as a team met before the game. So I mean, there is some person. There's some. I mean, just because the rule's there, you got to have some philosophy toward it. You'd imagine. So I guess as a team, they developed their philosophy toward the new rule. I mean, you got the bunting rule too, which. I don't want to give away Inky's plans, but he described to me a situation where the bunting rule could really actually be a benefit to the hitters. I mean, obviously it's a benefit to the hitters, but he drew out a situation specifically where it can really come into play, and I won't reveal it, but it makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does.
That one grounded sharply to TJ Rivera at third base, who fires to get his counterpart Juan Saverio out for out number 1. Even there, though, struck sharply.
Still a hard shot. It was a good play.
A good play by TJ Rivera to retire Silverio for number 1 here in the 8th inning. And that's a big-time home run there. You get a little more insurance for your bullpen. Now you don't need to maybe even get a guy like Matt West loosened up out there. You can go to some of your more middle relievers.
Yeah, exactly. And what a heck of a start today by Leinhart.
You got a comment. Somebody wants you on the call the rest of the season, Greg. I don't know.
Hey, hey, maybe I got to make an appearance every 8th or 9th inning.
I know. We got Rally Sloth too, but What do you know about Rally Greg?
Nobody didn't know anything until
Nobody,
tonight.
yeah, nobody knew nothing.
Yeah.
And now they got a quick tutorial.
That's right. That's right.
0-1 to Ryan Jackson's in for a strike from Vin Mazzaro.
Yeah, to add some reference to the Bridgeport Bluefish days of Rally Greg, Mike Moore and I would always come into the booth after doing some merchandise stuff and finishing out parking and come in, and it always seemed like every time I'd step in, there'd be a run, some way, somehow.
Just break up the monotony as Jackson looks at a called strike 3 there for out number 2. Yeah, I mean, you know, you come in, you bring the energy, you bring the fire. I mean, my goodness. So you're gonna have to come in. We're gonna definitely need you come playoff time for at the very least.
Oh yeah, I'm sold in playoff time for sure.
So that's good stuff right there. Well, so it'll be Albert Cordero now with 2 away here in the 8th inning. And yeah, we got a lot of Michigan people representing on the feed tonight.
Nice, that's good.
Go Wolverines.
That's
Go
good.
Spartans.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would have figured a lot of Oklahoma State fans.
Yeah, that's something we definitely got to get out there as Leinhardt had a great start. That one drops into shallow center field for a base hit. And Cordero, yeah, he pumps his chest out to his dugout.
He's pumped up.
That's going to be a line drive in the box score, Coco. A single here with 2 away in the 8th inning. Keeps the inning alive here. One more batter at least for Blair Beck.
I think Coco's almost laughing at what his previous at-bats, he was smoking the ball right at me.
And then he just drops in a little duck snort into center field and gets on base. That's how baseball works. It can be a cruel game.
Yeah, I think that's why he was so pumped up and laughing so hard.
Yeah.
When he got to first base, it's just, there you go. Hey.
When you're hitting, below 200 too, that's one of those things where it's like those line drives get caught, or you're just like, man, they wear on you probably a little bit more. But it's good to see that he's taking this all in stride. And Blair Beck, who is 0 for 2 and walked so far tonight, takes the first pitch ball from Vin Mazzaro. I guess we should get some numbers on Mazzaro before this inning's over.
Yeah.
3 and 4 at a 6.37 ERA. He's making his 28th appearance out of the Ducks bullpen. That's the most any reliever for the Ducks this year. He's got a 1-0 count here to Blair Beck. And Beck grounds that sharply through the left side and in for a base hit. As back-to-back singles here in the 8th inning have the Skeeters in action. Maybe a little more insurance on the way. And that'll bring up Rico Noel, making the Skeeters debut tonight.
Blair Beck has really provided a little spark to the Skeeters offense since he's come on board a couple weeks ago.
I mean, you think about it, with the Frontier League and the Windy City Thunderbolts, he played 27 games, did not homer, was hitting below 200. He's played in now 9 games with the Skeeters. He's homered twice. He's hitting over 300. I mean,
right.
And you think going from the Frontier League to the Atlantic League, you'd have maybe like a period where you got to adjust, and he's done exactly the opposite.
Yeah, he's definitely been impressive. I mean, it was tough to see him go after spring training. We had a lot of talent, obviously, with 14 guys now being signed to other leagues, but it was tough to see him go when he came for spring training. He really had some pop during some of those games. And
yeah, he looked great. Just you had guys like Cody Ashe, 6 years in the major leagues with
Ryan
the Phillies
Court.
and Ryan Court. I mean, James Loney, Josh Prince. He had guys that were way out in front of him on the depth chart.
Right.
I'm sure the Thunderbolts were like, yeah, sure, bring him back for another year, because obviously a very talented player. He's good friends with Alex Bregman, the Astros All-Star, so I guess feeling like he's at home out here in the Houston area. I'm sure him and Bregman see each other on the reg.
Yeah.
Bregman did pretty good in the home run derby. He
Yeah.
got knocked out in the first round, but he also had like Jock Peterson hit, he hit somewhere in the mid-20s in the first round. I mean, that's got to be so deflating. You're like, yeah, I'm going to go in the home run derby, and you're the second guy up, and the guy in front of you, Peterson, hits 20-something home runs. You're like, wow, that's that's pretty brutal.
You're like, I was reading something today about LSU graduates. I mean, obviously LSU is a tremendous baseball program, but you got people like Bregman, and then you have people like Joey Gallo playing for the Texas Rangers. He was an LSU commit. He never went to LSU.
You wonder, those guys, I mean, their program is just ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah, Joey Gallo went to Bishop Gorman out in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's like just an absolute powerhouse in high school. Noel floats out into right field. Washington on the run has it, going toward the right field corner for out number 3. Well, all we know is Riley Gray is alive and well. Jason Martinson delivers a solo shot here in the bottom of the 8th inning. A 5-0 lead now for the Skeeters. We head into the top of the 9th inning. Skeeters looking to close out game number 1 in the second half.
Don't miss out on daily promotions this season at Constellation Field. Come to the park on Monday for discounted margarita prices as well as free tickets for fans who present military and first responder IDs. Visit us on Wednesday and enjoy $1 hot dogs as well as discounts on White Claw hard seltzer. Come thirsty on Thursday for $2 beers and sodas. And you definitely won't want to miss out on Fireworks Fridays. Close the week out on Sunday Fun Day where we'll have pregame autographs and kids run the bases. Sugarland Skeeters, it's more than baseball. Plan your next group outing at beautiful Constellation Field. Looking to celebrate a birthday, host a large-scale event like a company party, or just looking to bring a large group to watch a baseball game? Constellation Field has you covered. We have several birthday packages as well as seating options that include our party suites and picnic plaza, as well as the field plaza to best accompany your group. Visit sugarlandskeeters.com or call us at 281-240-HITS for more info on all of our group packages.
Memorial Hermann Sugarland Hospital has been named a recipient of the highly coveted 2016 Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award, the nation's highest presidential honor for performance excellence. Memorial Hermann Sugarland was recognized for its outstanding commitment to sustainable excellence through innovation, improvement, and visionary leadership. Memorial Hermann Sugarland is the first Houston area healthcare organization to earn the prestigious Baldrige Award and only the 3rd in Texas. The Sugarland Skeeters are proud to partner with Memorial Hermann Sugarland.
Out steps Riley Gregg, in steps El Presidente, Christopher Hill, as the Skeeters lead 5-0. Robbie Ross, a.k.a. the lawnmower, steps on in here for the top of the 9th inning. And, Chris, we had one more good question because we were talking about the rules earlier. So we had Tom Stry, who was full of good questions tonight, was curious as to what constitutes a batter trying to quote-unquote steal first base. Is it leaving the batter's box? Is it making a motion? Do we have clarification on what that is?
Well, we have the clarification of mud on this whole thing. So if you feel that mud is clear, no, I mean I think it's intent, and it's also physically leaving the batter's box is how
Sure.
It's been kind of laid out. I think there's going to be a little play if we even see the problem with this rule. I think more than anything is that you have to see it in action to see where the difficulties of it are.
Yeah.
And I just, honestly, I do not think you're going to see it very often.
We've had a plethora of chances tonight where batters could have used
Silverio could have gone.
I mean, you had
that happened in the All-Star game. I think we talked about it, and everyone screamed, run!
And you could tell guys in the dugout were kind of, messing with him, like, where are you doing, man? Go, go. And he was kind of laughing at him back as the first pitch to David Washington is in for a strike, 0-1. And, I mean, Ray Fuentes, a few innings back, a speedster for the Ducks, had a chance to go on a pass ball, and trailing by some runs, you'd think that, hey, maybe that's your chance to shoot your shot.
But it's not instinctual at this point. I mean,
No.
you've heard about the rules just a few days ago, and it's not something you can plan because you don't know when that pitcher is going to, lob one down there. So it's going to take a while. I think your best shot is a speedster, a left-handed speedster, and a clear ball on the outside that skids away. And,
Yep.
But I think it's going to be pretty rare.
And Tyler actually made a good point. I think it's going to have to do with the situation, too, of the game. Maybe if you're trailing by some runs, you're more likely to go up and do that to get guys on base and get a rally going. I think that.
Yeah, or if you're in a slump, I mean, maybe
Sure.
you use it as a slump buster. I don't know.
Yeah. On base percentage is looked at almost like batting average at this point by most Major League Baseball, analysts, scouts, what have you.
Good old Moneyball.
Good old Moneyball. Get on base.
Well, and that's a big part of this too. I mean, if when people have an opportunity at some point, hopefully, to see all the automatic balls and strikes, the data that's collected, a beautiful strikeout on the corner. As they start seeing the amount of data that's collected, and it's pretty impressive. I mean, it's pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah, they're getting that's the thing with the TrackMan is without trying to be too punny, it tracks everything. Like, there's 27 tracking points on every pitch. So there's not much that it won't track. As strike 3 to David Washington there for round number 1, and that round brings up Daniel Fields. Robbie Ross, 0-0, 10.80 ERA on the year. He's making his 8th appearance now with the Skeeters.
But more and more, I'm really looking forward to automatic balls and strikes showing up, because at that point, other than a technical error,
That one grounded to Jackson on a hop. Has it in time there to Beck for out number 2 here in the 9th inning.
Other than a technical error, you're going to get a true strike zone. And when's the last time we saw a true strike zone?
When Angel Hernandez is behind the plate.
Well, I mean, you have umpires that have their own different interpretation of the rules and where that strike zone should be. And they can deny that and people can deny it, but I think it's fairly
well you made the
known
point earlier that even like veteran players get maybe a better strike zone than yeah, I mean, they definitely do. Even like you think about the home team, a playoff game with a home crowd, you gotta imagine he might be slightly influenced by that. I mean, there's no influence now. It's all online.
So I think that's exciting. I think it's excited for them too. Once they've gotten over the fact that you're not being replaced, this isn't robot umpires and all that nonsense. You still have a game to call. You still have things you have to do, but that part that people complain the most about is gone.
Absolutely, and swung on a miss there. Cabrera down 0-2 here. The Ducks down to their last strike here. Skeeters lead 5-0 here in the top of the 9th inning. It's been a fantastic way, not only just on the field, off the field. He had Kovu the Bat Dog, Christmas in July, and Skeeters now staring down a win here, 1 strike away. 0-2 from Ross.
The jerseys are ugly.
Yes, they are, but
they're purposely ugly.
Yes.
They're beautifully designed, but wow.
They stick out like a sore thumb. These are sleek looking though. I do like them.
I like them. I enjoy them.
1-2, and Cabrera just gets a piece of that to extend life into this game, but at least one more pitch. So Robbie Ross is nicknamed the lawnmower. I don't actually know what that means. It's on Baseball Reference.
He used to mow lawns as a kid.
Really?
Yeah. That's what I'm going with. I have no idea. I have no idea.
The confidence
Maybe
there.
mows down people. I mean,
Sure.
I would assume that's what it's probably for.
Maybe he like breaks a lot of bats. I don't know. Cabrera chops that lightly to third base. Going to be a tough play for Severio. Bare hand, the throw to Blair Beck. In time! Got it for out number 3. And what a barehanded play by Juan Severio to end this one. Put an exclamation point on that victory, Chris.
Wow, and I'd like to see a replay there.
And we won't go to New York. We're just going to call it a night there. And that was a close play. We're looking at the replay now. Severio on the run. It was a close play. All that matters is first base umpire Ken Leventhal gave it an out.
It was an out, and there we go. That's
And
how we'll have to leave this game.
Light up that Texas scoreboard. Skeeters
Time for
in
fireworks.
the win column. We got fireworks, launch a ball, courtesy of Elvinka here in just a moment. 5-0. Skeeters win to open up the second half. Beautifully done. Thank you to Chris for joining us once again. We'll be back here in just a moment. Wrap things up as the Skeeters 5-0 winners here. Game number 1 of the second half. Back in just a moment.
Texas Farm Bureau members get free tickets to Skeeters home games every Sunday all season long. Just show proof of your membership at the ticket office to get 2 free tickets to any Sunday home game while supplies last. Visit texasfarmbureau.org/sports to learn more about this offer and other benefits associated with your membership. This offer is exclusive to Texas Farm Bureau members and is only available while supplies last. So become a member today. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsor of the Sugarland Skeeters.
Hello, Houston. Tomorrow's here. Time for an energy company that does more than just sell electricity, and that's Constellation. We offer electricity plans that include protection for your air conditioning. If something goes wrong, we'll fix it, and you pay nothing for covered parts and labor. Visit constellation.com/getmore or call 888-921-MORE to learn how all of this is included in one great electricity rate. Certain restrictions apply. Visit constellation.com or speak to a care representative for details. PUC 10014.
Skeeters are victorious. Game number 1 of the second half. 5-0 win for the Skeeters. How about that? A shutout win to get things going in the second half of the regular season. Playoff spot already locked in, but nothing beats getting the win here and come back home for a 7 or 6 game series and weekend Friday opener here to this homestand. And it was Joe Lionheart who really deserves a bulk of the credit for this one. He threw 5 scoreless innings in his first start as a pro. He had pitched out of the bullpen coming out of Oklahoma State. 5 scoreless tonight, picks up the win, 1-0 on his pro career in his first pro start. And the Skeeters got a go run away in the first inning tonight. A 2-run homer from Zach Bornstein was part of a 3-run first inning. And the Skeeters tacked on another run in the 5th inning on a throwing error from Ducks catcher Ramon Cabrera. And they punctuated it with Jason Martinson's home run. in the bottom of the 8th inning. Home run number 11 for Martinson on the year, second on the team, and that was it. A good effort from the Skeeters bullpen too, 4 scoreless innings. Kevin Comer, Daniel Schlereth, Ricardo Gomez, and then Robbie Ross to finish it out of the bullpen. Take that, Long Island. 5-0 win for your defending champion Sugar Land Skeeters here in game number 1 of the second half. That is how you started off, folks. Well, before the fireworks start, I'm going to sign off here. Back right at it tomorrow, 6:05 p.m. Skeeter starter is still to be determined. It's likely going to be Dallas Beeler, but not 100% sure of that yet. And for the Ducks, it's going to be lefty Darren Downs. As game number 2 tomorrow night, 6:05 p.m. It's Parrot Head night at the ballpark. Do be sure to make an appearance here. Thank you so much for listening tonight to Skeeters Baseball here on the Skeeters YouTube channel and Mixler. And until tomorrow night, have a great night, and thank you very much for listening.